Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, wherever you're listening, watching from around the world. On the Eastern Caribbean, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Head boy, good morning to you, my friend. And good afternoon. Well, good afternoon now. It's good morning in Jamaica. It's good afternoon wherever you are. Head boy.
Good morning and good afternoon, Jeffrey. How are you?
I am good, man. I'm having a great laugh. What I'm going to show the students and viewers and subscribers to the Make We Talk program now. I want to show them something that. But before we go into the nitty-gritty of what we came here to speak about, I just want to say to everyone that despite what we all may be going through as individuals, we must always be cheerful, be optimistic, because God will see us through and God will always take us through. And, we must put God in the forefront of everything. And I pray God richest blessing on all of you. And I pray that God, in His tender mercy, will come in the midst of what we're going to discuss today and lead us and direct us in His own part, and let this program go out that the people of our country and the people of the world can, in some sense, put some in some sense, make Jamaica a better place. Head boy, you have anything to say? Go ahead. Head boy?
No, I mean more than I'm just waiting to see what unfolds in the program.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you loud and clear, man. I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me now, Jeffrey?
Yes, I'm hearing you. You hearing me?
I don't know.
I'm hearing you loud
Yes,
and
I'm
clear.
hearing
Are
you.
you
Can
hearing
you hear
me?
me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, give me a second. Let me shift my location.
Okay. Welcome to the program, everyone. Welcome. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Pandemonium went on in the parliament yesterday. A pandemonium went on in the parliament yesterday because of the protest yesterday. We couldn't carry the parliament proceedings to you live yesterday. But what we are seeing so far and what we are getting out of the parliament this morning, parliament went into a frenzy yesterday, into a chaos in a sense, wherein Daley, member of parliament Denise Daley, and member of parliament Everald Warmington went into a name calling where Everald Warmington was disrespecting Denise Daley, and Miss Daley did put him in his place. But the way how she did it was very funny. It was very, very funny the way how she did it. And I find it very amusing. Hi, Miss Carol, how you doing? Lady Edwards, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We are going to speak about that. We're also going to speak about there's something circulating on social media where obviously it seems as if
Sorry, Jeffrey. Can you?
loud
Pardon
and
me. Can
clear,
you hear
no
me
man.
much
Loud
better
and clear.
now?
You hearing me?
Yeah, man. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yes. There is a thing going on social media where Nationwide pick it up. And the Nationwide is running with it. I think I should play that before I play Denise Daley own. Let me play the thing that is going on social media. There is, what I saw is that I can't prove that they were giving out money. I cannot prove it. I cannot prove that they were giving out any money at all. What I saw was something that is being said by Nationwide that some transaction went on. Now I have no proof to that. I want you all to listen to what went on Nationwide this morning with Mr. George Davis. I won't call the gentleman by the name that everybody's calling him. I want you to listen to this.
I want you to look at it, and then we'll ask a question together. I will hope nobody no vex. Okay? Here we go. Who are listening on radio, I may have to do a bit of narration for those listening on radio. So this is what you're seeing a JFJ wrapped vehicle cleared the mark Jamaicans for Justice, and people huddling at the side of the vehicle. There's someone sitting in there with a clipboard as if ticking off names. And I am being told by this journalist of vast experience, a man who was seen in this thing when I was a sapling with breast milk still on my mouth. He was in this thing. And what he says is that people were signing a register to collect money. Now, I say that, all right, it could be that it was a lunch stipend. It could be to defray traveling expenses. It could be for various things. I'm not making any conclusion. But I would ask JFJ to explain if the support they got, the 130 that they spoke about in their press release, and the organization that we saw, if this was organic, or if this was, an inducement given to people to come and support the cause to make the cause seem to have more muscle than it actually does. These are just questions. Yeah, I'm not making any assertion. If I was making any assertion, I would treat the material differently. But there's a gentleman now who will appear in the shot. You can see him on the left corner, fellow. He was pleasant for the most part, telling the reporter that he couldn't film. So the man said, brethren, we're in a public place. You're telling me that I can't film in a public place? Nonsense. And this guy was trying to explain to him that no. So the question was asked.
This is sensitive.
Listen to this.
Stop what's happening. What is that? What is that? What is sensitive? Don't say what is sensitive. I have been collecting money. I don't have lunch money. I welfare money.
Right. So he would have asked, the reporter would have asked, what are they collecting monies for?
Support transportation costs. And this might be so please do. So yeah.
Basically, the gentleman is explaining that this is to defray transportation costs and some other things associated with the process. Again, the microphone choose a time. King, these frustrations very well, eh? Choose a time, Tana, to be dodgy. So we're not hearing the full exchange, but he told me exactly what happened last night when he contacted me. Yeah? And so again, people gathered and they are collecting. He says he saw the cash from the person in the vehicle going to the persons at the vehicle. So I'm just asking JFJ, they can answer. Honorable people. Yeah, people we respect. The crowd and the support. What was happening in the bus? Is it as the reporter is telling me? And no, that reporter doesn't work here. As I said, works external. Does a lot of work right across the spectrum. Sports, hard news, parliament, everywhere. Very experienced gentleman. And he, based on my experience with him, he doesn't tell tall tales when it comes to his work. And then he was most perturbed because he says, George, the man got rough with me at one point. And I said, well, clearly he doesn't know who you are because he wouldn't have done that otherwise. And he said, well, clearly he didn't. So I'm just asking JFJ, did you pull an organic crowd? Did you induce the crowd, or were you just defraying transportation, lunch, and so forth, inconvenience, expense? Like we know, because it would be good, I think.
And my take on that, I don't think Jamaicans for Justice owe an explanation to this head boy. Unmute your mic for me.
They owe no explanation to George Davis. George Davis. And they owe no apology to him, no explanation. And the problem is, I have been a part of different groups in Jamaica where, similar to the JFJ, that when they do activities, outdoor activities, they understand the difficulty that people face And so sometimes support is provided for transportation if a physical bus doesn't go to pick them up. Sometimes it's easy to give people and the transportation money than having to pay for a bus to pick them up. So if they saw money, and it's interesting, out of everything, that's the only thing that could point out about the protest. Out of everything. They couldn't highlight the fact
Amazes
that
me.
they couldn't highlight the fact that the protesters were peaceful, they were not political, they were not boisterous. They were just talking about body worn camps.
I want to play something else here.
No
The
problem.
same video, but I think from a different angle. I want you to listen to this. Wow. Now tell me something there now, head boy. Anybody see any transaction going on there? I clearly didn't send the money past to anybody because you could hardly see anything. So
I can tell you, evil know evil and speak of evil.
I don't understand. Where George Davis and that journalist getting that JFJ was handing out money to people? I don't know. This taking on a different turn before they come out and before they obviously they are the one who is in the sense of saying that the prime minister and all of them who are wearing blue in solidarity of the police killing Jamaican citizens. I am not saying that the police must kill what they call it, criminals. But you cannot be going around beating people. You cannot be going around kicking off people's doors as if the doors belongs to you without a warrant. And neither Mr. Davis nor nobody from Nationwide or the Prime Minister come out and condemn anything. And when Jamaicans for Justice decide to go out there with a protest, now they're being accused of handing out money to people. What the hell is going on in this country? Is this the country in which people must just continue and don't say nothing? Yes, Jamaicans for Justice may not come out, and some issues are supposed to come out on. But they came out yesterday. And if they wasn't doing anything, that the same Jamaican people would not criticize them. No one is criticizing the Prime Minister or the Minister of the Deputy Prime Minister. Quite frankly, the Prime Minister should have kept neutral. The Prime Minister came out yesterday and indicated to the Jamaican people that he's in support of police judicial killing. He's in support of police beating Jamaican citizens. That's what he's telling the people of this country. If I was the Prime Minister, I would wear no blue, I would be neutral. But the Prime Minister went out wearing blue, he and the Minister of National Insecurity, telling the Jamaican people that we support the JCF to shoot and ask questions after. That we support the JCF to beat that 15-year-old. That we support the JCF to kick off your door without a warrant. That we support the JCF to beat that 15-year-old young man who was going to school and to beat that old man in Spanish Town or wherever. We support it. That is exactly what the Prime Minister is telling the people of this country. And the Jamaican people must send a clear message to the Prime Minister of this country whenever he calls the election, because he's telling you that he supports what the police are doing. That's exactly what he's telling you. That he supports it. And we must not sit down in this country. This Jamaica land that we claim that we love. We must not sit down in it and says nothing what is going on in this country. We must not do it. We must not do it. And when you have a Prime Minister who has not come out and condemn what is going on in this country with the police force, it's showing you that he has no scan regard for the people of this country. He has no scan regard for the Jamaican people. As a leader of a nation, I believe that you shall remain neutral, sir. As the leader, as the Prime Minister of this country, and the Deputy Prime Minister of this country, both of them should have remained neutral. But it's to show you the regard that this man has for the Jamaican people. It is to show you that he don't give a flying kahuna about the well-being of the people of this country. He does not care about the people of this country. Not one bit. And you come out and what you said, I am in support of the men and women in blue. So I have on my full suit of blue. Blue shirt, blue tie, blue jacket, blue pants, blue shoes. In Clarks all blue. And you don't hear this Prime Minister. You don't hear this Prime Minister come out and say, we condemn the beating of that young man. What this Prime Minister said, I'm going to play it to make you hear too. I played it yesterday and I play it again. And the Jamaican, this must sink in. It must sink into the Jamaican people that Prime Minister Michael Andrew Holness do not give a flying kahuna about none of us. The police can beat us, go and beat us, come. The dirty foot choices boy, dirty foot girl found on a crossroad, beat them up. What he's telling the people of this country. All of us sit down in this country. What he's telling the people of the... Sorry about that. And all of us sit down in this country and accept it. Listen to this.
The Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government will never allow members of the JCF to abuse the power and resources handed to them.
I will be the first to tell you that my administration will never sit by and allow our state forces to act in a way that wantonly abuses the human rights of our citizens. That must never happen. And I want to reinforce that point and say it very loudly. That will never happen.
You're a damn liar. You're a liar from the pit of hell. How many times the JCF members has infringed on the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people, and you said nothing about it? You're a shameless individual as a prime minister. You're a despicable human being. You're a disgrace to this country. You have no scan regard for the people of this country. I am not saying that there's brutal gunmen out there who need to be taken down, who need to be locked away or whatever. But you never come out and speak about what the police is doing to the citizens of this country. You don't come out and speak about what the police did to that old man in Spanish Town. Not a thing you came out and said. But you're coming to talk about you will stand by and you will never allow that to happen. Huh? You will stand by and never allow that to happen. Look what is going on in this country. What have you done? What have you done to uplift the people of this country? But you are supporting the JCF. You should have remained neutral as a prime minister. You should have never said anything. But it's to show you that you are militarizing Jamaica. That Jamaica becoming a police state under your administration.
Ball out! Whoa! Yo, yo, yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Me I go to Portland. Why me I travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Listen to some more of this.
Under my watch, we have worked very hard to transform the JCF.
According to the Prime Minister, the national conversation around crime and justice must be balanced. Dr. Holness added that he's satisfied the leadership of the JCF is implementing the use of force to the best of its ability. He noted that policemen and women who misuse their authority are held accountable for their actions.
Inasmuch as the police would have improved in their kinetic operations and in their tactics in terms of how they engage criminals who confront them, the JCF has also internally taken action against policemen and women who have acted outside the use of force policy. And I think Jamaicans, I'm not asking you to give up the healthy skepticism, because that is important to keep institutions in check. But Jamaicans need to be practical about where we are. For the first time in a long time, our capacity is at a level where it can adequately address the criminal enterprises that have dogged us for over 40 years.
Have you addressed Prime Minister Holness? Indeed, Stargirl. The people of Guyana stand up with each other, not Jamaica. Have you, Prime Minister Holness, have you worked on the morale of the JCF? Have you worked on the JCF not beating the Jamaican people as if they are their sons and daughters in this country? Have you worked on that, Prime Minister? More than yesterday, you wear the color blue. You and your Deputy Prime Minister into the Parliament of this country, showing the Jamaican people that I am telling the JCF to go out there and beat some more of you dirty foot choices, boy, and dirty skirt gal from down a crossroad. That's exactly what he's telling the people of this country. That's what you're telling them. welcome, walking in divine purpose. Can you do what you said you were going to do yesterday again for me, please? You can do it right now, please. You wear the color blue to tell the Jamaican people that you are giving the JCF members, those who go around as if they're the fathers and mothers of the Jamaican people, beating them with baton. You are giving them the go ahead to do it. Because you have not come out and condemn. You have not come out and condemn. Not one single police brutality in this country. Not one. Not one. I want you all to listen to what this Prime Minister said, I want you to listen to it carefully.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government will never allow members of the JCF to abuse the power and resources handed to them.
I will be the first to tell you that my administration will never sit by and allow our state forces to act in a way that wantonly abuses the human rights of our citizens.
You're a liar. You are a liar. You are pathologically mendacious.
Jeffrey, not only is he a liar, but he is, when your granny would say a dry eye. Yeah?
My God.
He is a dry eye person because he knows that last year over 148 persons were murdered, including one incident where somebody was charged. 2 police officers were charged, for the extrajudicial killing of the individual. So him now come in, and when his utterance and very strong utterances have been to the police to kill people, to out people, make them meet the maker, and it is a crying shame that a Prime Minister would see a civil society group calling for a particular position and don himself in blue yesterday, which is to say to those persons who have lost their loved ones in cases, questionable cases, that, well, me not care about, no. I might police them and me send them to do them work. And that is his attitude, and that is Horace Strong's attitude. And the people of Jamaica have to think about this, whether or not they're going to allow the Prime Minister to continue to behave as if he has no regard for the rights, for law, for the Constitution, and for constitutional rights.
He has no scan regards for the people of this country. None. None whatsoever. And when you listen to how this man is speaking, why do you listen to this man?
That must never happen, and I want to reinforce that point and say it very loudly. That will never happen under my watch.
So let me ask you a question. When the police were beating that schoolboy, it was under your watch. When the police were beating that old man in his car from Spanish Town, it was under your watch. When the police was beating a bus driver up in what the place name again? Up at St. Andrew area there. It was under your watch, Prime Minister. When the police kick off some people's door, beat up the young lady, then shoot her boyfriend executional style, it was under your watch. The Jamaican people must send a clear message to this man. That 15-year-old young man who said he don't like police and the police beat him up. You're telling me Prime Minister Andrew Holness, it was never on your watch? Something wrong with me. We have a ghost running this country then. Up Stony Hill, yes, thank you.
It happened, you know, Jeffrey, but he was not watching.
Oh. And nobody tell him about it.
Because that's the only logical conclusion you can come to. But the other way you can deduce it is that those that happened under his watch were sanctioned by him then.
Hold on for me. Social labor they call me. Hello, my good friend, social labor, right?
What's going on, man?
I'm here with my good friend Head Boy.
Good day, sir, Marshy.
Oh, bless up yourself, head boy.
Bless up yourself, brother.
Turn off the fan in the background, so.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, man. The question when we want to ask is,
yes.
No, I get a lot of echo though.
Oh,
you can hear with the echo?
Go ahead.
Yes.
You still
That's
hear
better. It's better now. Better.
Okay,
better.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I still hear it. But let me fight with it.
Please.
Let's hope your listeners you can hear.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
The question I want to ask of Brian Chang.
Uh-huh.
True or false?
Mm-hmm.
Was he or is he a founding member of Jamaica for Justice?
When Caroline Gomes formed it, was he there with her?
And secondary right truck was there too.
I don't know. I need to go back and look.
Well, I wish to say yes, but God sake. But yes. I wish to say yes, he was.
No, Marshy.
And I can tell you why he was quick.
Hold on for me. Head boy saying something.
I am confirming exactly what you're saying, because remember, Jamaicans for Justice was actually formed out of some of the incidences of police shooting in Grand Span.
Include all of Guyana, Barrett.
Yes, and it was around the same time during that late 90s, early 2000s. You know, you're right. Chang was a part of it. Anyway, and the MP.
I know I'm right.
And the MP was a big proponent of it. Yeah.
But listen a little further. Mm-hmm. You know why Brian Chang was quick to? The PNP was in power at the time. I know that Brian Chang, that the matter life of Brian Chang, you know. So I'm a public commentator. He's not public commentator, you know. He's a JLP activist. And he has his right to do so. Right? But for God's sake, Brian Chang, please to be an honest person. And a way Jamaican for Justice bill, make you turn your back on them so now. Yeah? And I want what the Prime Minister said TVJ News last night.
I didn't cut him off at all. I never cut him off. I know what happened to Soso. Hold on, I can get him back. Where did he call from? I never cut him off at all. If you hear me, you can call back, my friend, because I never cut you off at all. I never cut him off. Let me see if I can get him back. Hold on for me. Nice discussion here. SS. Here it is. I don't know what happened. I never cut him off at all.
Yeah.
What happened to you for? Because I never cut you off. What happened?
Me no know what, you know. I mean, maybe true me attack me know if a police or labor right up on the line, me no know.
Continue, my friend.
Yes, I'm saying that some things what happen under the Prime Minister's watch, in which he should say something, the Commissioner of Police should say something, the opposition afraid to say it because then they need to put them out in there, you say them a PNP and them are them out. But Mr. Denwall, man, and
but let me ask you this question though. You heard what the Prime Minister said, that certain things can happen under his watch. The beating of that 15-year-old wasn't on the Prime Minister Holness watch. The beating of that bus driver up in Stony Hill a couple months, maybe sometime last year or the year before. Wasn't on the Prime Minister Holness watch?
Continue, because
the beating of that 15-year-old couple days ago or a couple weeks ago wasn't under Prime Minister Michael, according to my friend Conrad O'Brien, Prime Minister Michael Andrew Brogard Radam Holness.
The last time I checked, it is so.
So what is this man telling the people of this country?
Hear me, man. The Prime Minister is such a liar that if him tell a lie on a block of ice, the ice can't melt. That's how lie the Prime Minister is. And him have some follower. And him have a man who him have out there. That man doing a great injustice to the JLP, you know. Him have a man out there named Marlon.
Oh, you mean Edith Amin?
Yes. He is such, the guy is so lying stupid and him take the Jamaican people for fool. You understand? I'm trying to divide the people. And me hear Judge Davis come out and talk about the democracy live and well and whatever. While the police, they out there intimidate people yesterday. You know.
Democracy.
You have a man dressed in a green, have camera, I walk around and I take people picture. What am I take the picture for?
I must admit on this program, from this morning here, when I got the live feed from Andre Stevenson, I was praying to God that they don't do Andre anything out there. And I'm being honest with you.
Exactly.
I was praying in my mind yesterday, Father, let me not do Andre anything. Because when he started showing the police, how much police out there, I said, Father God, I'm not doing anything. They send the police out there to intimidate the Jamaican people.
Yes.
Jamaica is no longer a democracy. Jamaica is a dictatorial state.
And listen, more people could be out about more people afraid, especially all the taxi men. They were afraid. Taxi and bus driver were afraid. They want to come out about them afraid of what might happen. Even me talking to you now, right now, me the panic because a lot of people know my voice. But let me tell you something. The police must understand that these guys will come out and say them are defend like the O'Brien Chang. Now, no defend them, defend the police. A politics them a play. And if you want to prove it, let the police ask for them overtime money and ask for them salary increase. And say if you hear O'Brien Chang, get up and support them. Listen, if you would hear some more people who hear a call on the radio all the while and I talk about them support the police. Listen, if you would hear them ever come out and I said the police to get the money. And let the police put foot on the ground and say they want the money, all of a sudden you said my PNP. And PNP I infiltrate the Jamaica Constabulary Force. That's why you go and hear. They are not with the police. They are just using the police, and the police must allow themselves not allow themselves to be used. They are using the police. The thing when I'm talking about crime down, check the figure because all right, it's 109 people murdered since the start of the year. We want to tell me one of them 109 people let it go out there and a fire shot at the police? That's a question no one asks. Them out there fire shot at the police?
And what
we don't know that.
What I don't understand.
And just 1 second, Jeffrey. Once upon a time, incident happened. Police should have gone pick up spent shell. Where the spent shell they find somebody will shoot after the police them all the while. The 109 spot. Where spent shell them then? Where them spent shell them? And where the gun them there where them take from them people there?
By the way,
something all right.
My friend, did you hear Denise in the Parliament yesterday with Warmington?
I'm my MP. Me call her this morning. And me tell me have to tell her, say me thank God the answer me because it proved to me, say me no mama, man.
What is it?
She laugh. I know she must still a laugh.
I'm gonna play it now, you know, because honestly, I wish I had her number to call her and said, MP, I love what you're going with. Hey, MP is she just sit down quiet, you know, man. Dry as anything, I just eat to him, you know.
Yes. I don't think she will mind if I give you the number. We give you half the line.
Please do. Please do.
Yes. I'm going to text it to you. Yes, all right. Good. Go ahead. All right, I'm going to do that now. Good.
Cool.
All right, Mashi. Cool.
Good. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Oh, Lord. All right, I'm going to play a video here now. Oh, the Lord.
It sounded like it was Marlon who called you, you know.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. Calling from Cayman Island in the day of the election.
Yes, I'm going to get a live coverage of Cayman pretty soon. What is going on?
Yeah, but there's one thing that I want to say to you first and foremost.
Yes, sir.
And we have to be careful. You see, the speech that coming out of the JLP camp, it is a dangerous. We might not see it today, but going forward now, because right now,
which one
what I'm seeing that they are.
Because they come out with so
I'm talking about I'm talking about Morgan with the Jamaica police force against the JFJ and all of these things. No. To me, it's divisive because let me tell you something. I believe there's a lot of persons, and I realize this narrative that is going on. There are persons who is not PNP or JLP, who is just ordinary citizen and do not support certain things that is happening. If something is happening wrong, and if the government is doing that is wrong, and they want to come out and make a voice, it's like they are being stigmatized. They are called it politics. And I think yesterday is proof to the point that there's a lot of persons who want to support the cause, not for what the JCF is doing per se, but the body-worn cameras. But they are afraid because of the politics began to come into this kind of situation. And if it continues on this trend here, look at Guyana. People can rally around one cause. Why is it that Jamaicans cannot look into it and say, these persons are planting a seed? It's like he's planting a seed and say, okay, then, if the government says something and it's not right, you're not supposed to say it, because if you come out and say it, you're a PNP. This is a wrong way that they are going about it now. And going to the future now, there are persons that are silently, like the persons who is not PNP or JLP or nothing at all, who is just for Jamaica. They are not going to come out and talk because they have been victimized. And you have to look at this kind of way. And I think the government is driving fear. As I said, they're turning the state in a military state. Silently, that's what he's doing.
Whether we want to believe it, yes or no, yesterday proved to me, when I saw the Prime Minister in a Gleaner clipping report saying to a member of the JCF, shaking hand and say, I'm in support, and I'm decked out in my full suit of blue. It proved to me that this Prime Minister has no scant regard for the people of this country. And he support the JCF in beating the Jamaican people. Take the baton and beat them. Them a dirty foot girl and boy.
I wonder if he's feeling that he's going to be going for a third term, so he believes that he can do anything. Look here, I can tell you this now. Jamaican people now, if we make that mistake now, we can tell you now. I better not find somewhere around go now. As I say, when the Bible says you want to run under the rock and the rock somewhere look somewhere for hide, that will happen. Yeah? So only can stay there because based on what he's doing right now, he believes that the police force in an election always just about the police give them the support, them always who win with the police support. Nothing like that. Nothing like that said. Time has come that things will have to change, and him so realize. So these little, we call them charlatans, are these little persons who are activists, Kevin O'Brien Chang. I don't listen to them now. Kevin O'Brien Chang and Nadine Spence and these people. I really don't listen to them because they are not thinking about Jamaica now. They are thinking about getting things from the government itself.
And
okay,
you don't hear Kevin O'Brien Chung, you don't hear Nadine Spence come out and speak about the 15-year-old boy that the police beat. Not a word from these people. And those are the people we have sitting on Constitutional Reform Board. Oh, there's something wrong with me. We're mad as hell in this country.
No, I am going to say to you, you will hear them. They will come out one day. They will come out one day, because I am sure that one day, I hope it don't happen, but one day it will happen that the police will make a mistake and touch one of their uptown friend family or their family, and you will hear, and I'm wondering if they are going to get the support from the public. Don't bother feel like, say, it won't. One of the things why they are like that now, because it don't come on their door knocking now. It's not on their door at immediate now. When it reaches to their door now, the police will touch someone who them didn't know and belongs to such and such a person.
True.
And they will realize what is happening.
Why?
Have a great day, sir.
All right, my friend. Thanks much. Boy, oh boy. There was a call coming. Let me take back this call here. Hold on for me. The person called back. Let's go over here. Here it is. My God. Good afternoon. Welcome to Make Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jeffrey.
Hi, how are you?
Philadelphia as usual.
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, but I can't catch up with you at all.
Why?
I can't find you.
No, man. What you need to do is let somebody who's younger than you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and then it come up on your phone whenever I go live.
Okay. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have two pressing things to ask to talk to you about.
Go ahead, ma'am.
It is giving me a bother. This man, I was watching the YouTube and I saw this man come up on the program. And he's telling the Prime Minister how he's doing well. And it's time for him to start the 4th episode of what you call it? The word that he used means to clear out people.
From where?
I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. The next one, I have seen Vegas telling people that the PNP is planning to erupt and I mean bring on fight and thing like that.
You know
that I don't see that.
You know something? When it comes on to people who believe that they have reached or they have arrived in life, all because they have a science and technology behind their name. And when you have some people looking for old donkey and old jackass and co of distinction from the government, they will chat all kind of damn nonsense, Is it because me and head boy now look for no old donkey and old jackass and co of distinction? We can't talk. But you have some people in society, they are working hard to get some order of this and order of that. And that is why I said I don't want no order of nothing. Because I have some criminals and some child molesters who are getting order of this and order of that. And I don't deserve it. So when you hear some people talk some nonsense, ma'am, I don't
see where PNP is making any trouble. They're the ones who are, when you see them talk like that, Mr. Jeffrey, it's what they are planning to do and blame it on the PNP.
Blame it on themselves.
I don't see where PNP making any trouble. Next thing,
yes, ma'am.
What a disgrace yesterday. When I look at I see police all on the house stop them. What we having a war?
I think that Jamaica yesterday had a mass protest where people were looting and everything was going on. So
killing and chopping up and all them thing there.
So the entire JCF from Negril Point to Moran Point was in halfway through yesterday.
My opinion, that's my opinion. I think the Prime Minister should lay neutral.
There you go. I believe that too.
He is a fool.
But
he don't have nothing sense.
But you know something, Miss Philadelphia? It proved to you, you know, God work in mysterious ways, you know.
Yes, yes.
You know. It proved to us yesterday. I don't know about anybody, it proved to me that the Prime Minister of Jamaica is in agreement with
the police force
to beat the Jamaican citizens.
Did you? I don't know if you didn't hear what he said the other day, but I clearly hear it. He told the police force to double down on what they're doing. What that mean?
It means that Jamaica is becoming a police state, a dictatorial state, ma'am.
That means they must do more than what they're doing.
Beat them.
Yeah.
Beat the dirty foot boy from down a crossroad and country. and the dirty foot girl from down a crossroad and country. Beat them.
Yes. Kill them. And you see that kill one this morning. Oh, yesterday morning.
I know this thing. The Jamaican Prime Minister is asking Jamaicans to choose Jamaica.
And give him a third term.
But him is choosing, hold on for me, him is choosing the Jamaica Constabulary Force of all the people. Mama.
My God. I can't fathom what's going on. I can't. I just can't. Because I'm wondering if it's a Prime Minister we have dealing with, or is a gunman, or is a war boat, or I don't know. Where to place him?
All I can tell you, my dear, if the Jamaican people don't make a decision, there'll be some dark days ahead of us in this country.
Yes, but to me, Mr. Jeffrey, I don't see where he's planning to allow them to make that decision. I don't see it. That man is having something behind the back of his head. Because I'm clearly we are fighting a losing battle, and he's going to try something to stop it. That man is a wicked. I've never seen anybody like that.
Well, the Jamaican people have a lot to do with all of this, man. They are the
them going to do it because them just waiting. Them waiting, but is he going to allow them to do what they're supposed to do?
I don't know, my dear.
That's what we're thinking about.
Okay, Miss Philadelphia, thanks for calling.
Yes, Mr. Jeffrey. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to our program, Your Life.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tavares.
Yes, sir.
To you and your guests. So I only have a single thing to say. What I think the Prime Minister is doing is provoking the Jamaican people to uprise, so he can try to put what he has to put in place so he can hold off the election. Because there is no way, as a Prime Minister, you could be saying all of those things in a time when an election is so close. So that's my belief right there. Thank you. Bye-bye.
One thing I can say, do you know, head boy, come on in here. Oh, head boy gone. One thing I can say, do you know, is this. The Prime Minister, under the Constitution, you know, the only way the PM can delay this election, you know, unless there's an act of war, a state of emergency, or some natural disaster. Well, natural disaster that he can declare a state of emergency. That's the only way he can do it. But he has to call the election this year. Whether he like it, yes or no, he has to call the election. He has to call the election. I want to play something here now with what happened in the Parliament yesterday. I hope it play and don't give me any trouble. Listen to this.
Senior officer of the JLP, he spilled the beans. He told the country this: they will make Portmore into a parish, cut away from the rest of St. Catherine with the boundaries that they want. And after then, they will take control of St. Catherine municipality, create a safe seat for the JLP in Portmore that they will never lose. It is of note that the political boundaries stipulated by that member for achieving those goals are exactly what is provided in the Counties and Parish Boundary Act, which they rammed down through the Parliament. If this is not the most classical demonstration of gerrymandering, then the...
Member. Hold a moment, member. You have asked for a point of order. Hold a moment respectfully. Member, what is your point of order?
Madam Speaker, the member just attacked me. What I said on the platform. But the issue is, he's saying what I said on the political platform. Why don't you tell the country he broke his son hand when she defended his mother from beating?
His mic is on. Member.
Okay, team, Facebook ads, give me an update. Pay attention, people.
Member from St. Catherine Southwest. Member from St. Catherine Southwest. Your mic was off, but I could hear you clearly. That's most inappropriate. That's not a point of order.
Are you, Madam Speaker? Are you asking me to draw it?
We don't want more abuse there from you.
Are you asking me to draw it?
Yes, member.
No. If he can prove that I'm lying, then I'll draw it. I'm speaking facts. So I can't withdraw facts.
Member from St. Catherine. Member from St. Catherine Southwest. That is not a point of order. Member from St. Catherine Southwest. That's not a point of order.
Madam Speaker, in the normal...
Please allow the member from St. Catherine Southern to speak.
This is a waste of time asking for that.
Go ahead, member.
Waste of time. I will continue from where I left off. Madam, may I be permitted to speak in some silence? Madam Speaker.
The member from St. Catherine Southwest. The member from St. Catherine Southwest, please.
Denise, Daley say talk to a real man, not a mama man.
The member from St. Catherine Southwest. This is the last time you'll be spoken to, sir.
During the directive of the Speaker, I should state a specific time.
Months or so, and particularly over the last 5 months. Portmore as a community has been around for well over 60 years. That they will be much better off, cause us not to have any or less mosquitoes, Will becoming a parish cause less traffic and present danger to have a government that they trust. Mr. Speaker, we have a holistic vision of security, justice, and opportunity. The PNP's plan is clear. 1, targeted security. Expand focused deterrence, empower the JCF with advanced tools, and legislate. I want to be treated equally. Such as
the directive of the Speaker.
Oh, that logic flow. As the government dishonestly argues that the reason for making Portmore a parish is for its development, the questions being asked for which no credible answers are forthcoming. They ask the question, Mr. Speaker, will becoming a parish cause the roads to be fixed and maintained? Will becoming a parish cause more reliable water supplies? Will becoming a parish cause the communities to be more secure than they are now? Will becoming a parish cause the sewage treatment plant in Greater Portmore to be maintained and the perpetual stench from the ponds end? Will becoming a parish cause us not to have any or less mosquitoes? Will becoming a parish cause less traffic congestion all over Portmore? And the million-dollar question being asked is, if becoming a parish will... I want to be treated equally. 20 minutes.
I'm following the directive of the Speaker. I should state a specific time.
Denise, Daley say I don't talk to mama man. No mama man around here. The number to call is 954-529-8030. Oh my God. 954-529-8030. Call us and talk to us what you think about what is going on in the Parliament and also with the Prime Minister yesterday. Wearing blue in solidarity of the police, telling the police to go ahead and do whatever they want to do to the Jamaican people. Shoot and ask question after. Who cares what no one do? 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Talk program. You're live. Denise Daley said, go ahead, don't talk to mama man, talk to real man. Mama man.
No, sir.
Parliament sweet sir. Aye, Auntie Denise, no easy.
Jeffrey,
all
I can do is laugh, not more.
What do you want me to do? I must laugh off of them in there. It's long time we come in Denise. Denise says I had enough for you now.
One up in a gap in a year and never afraid.
Always keeping.
Can I tell you? Jeffrey? No, sir. So you want him? No. When he call the people them out of St. Thomas, chink and fly. In tiny match. You are a mama man.
Denise Daley say you're a mama man. I don't talk to mama man. A half a man.
You're a mama man. Yeah. in meet upon a brick wall.
Member of Parliament of the People's National Party told Everald Warmington in the Parliament yesterday, shut up, you're a mama man, go away. I don't talk to
Yes.
old man. I don't talk to half a man. I talk to old men.
I talk to old man. You're a mama.
You're a mama man.
Lord of the bite of the week.
Yes. They should put that in bite of the week. Mama man.
I can't bother. No, sir. It's serious. Mm-mm.
Despite what is
All
going
right.
on in this country, there's something to laugh about.
May I tell you? But not serious now. What the Prime Minister say? Things not happen na film watch?
No, not film watch.
So and over watch. My watch?
No,
Me sure no say a clock me have is not a watch.
Why I don't know. But he saying that not film watch.
No, sir. I don't know how to him and Uncle Donald which one better.
Wow. That is
Up to date. I don't know. May I tell you, politics is Jeffrey. Me can't bother. Politics are religion. Me can't bother. Cause you're not gonna away with it.
No.
Remember me tell you.
No.
You all do a grown in a circle, grown in a circle. How the Prime Minister him think about what he was going to say before him say it? Me not think so.
Think about what? Think about what?
And the way I say in a man that film watch.
Let me say something to you, man. Let me say something to you, darling. East Kingston and Port Royal. Let me say something to you. We serve an awesome God, you know.
Yeah.
And God allow you to come out and say some things when you never planned to say, you know. But you just come out. He wanted to support the police long time. This has confirmed to the Jamaican people that he's the one that keep on telling people, so no, I not do it. But it proved to me yesterday that he's the one telling the police what to do and what not to do.
And in the long run, you know, what most of the police men and women fail to understand, you know, when they get in a trouble, they wanna face it, you know.
All right.
When they get into trouble, it's them alone going to face it.
It's same way with these so-called political activists. That is on social media calling other people that know kind of thing. When lawsuit reach them, you know, them things say Marlon Morgan or Nesta Morgan or Andrew Honest or Juliet Honest not come help them. They make a sad mistake.
Better believe it. Better believe it. Right? And I'm saying to the police officers, be careful. We're in a tough time, yes. But when you go out on the road, you have to be careful. You can't just go there with this bullyism and this one bad up people. You look on a big man and a beat him like you beat not even animal. A man could be your father. Eh? Me see the video with a 15-year-old with the two police, a senior, right, and a junior. The junior look like he not even done training yet. That when we in a training, we call them the grubs. Right? And a senior officer, an Anglo 15-year-old. And if it wasn't, say them have the button, I lick the youth would have floored the two of them because they're weak, no hell. This 15-year-old, if he need just drop him back and say, all right, then and them, no bother with no button. He not beat them off.
But you know what I'm happy for? I'm happy for that they didn't draw their gun and shoot him.
Exactly. And at least somebody was there videoing. And all of that. Me tell the police officer of today, me say all drunk a video too. So you have to be careful.
But look at this East Kingston and Port Royal. The video is out there, the evidence is out there. And you hear nothing from this Prime Minister. Not a word in English. And he's gonna tell the Jamaican people that these things are happening. This will never happen under his watch.
Nothing. Even when the video go to court, them still no say it no. You can't charge the police officer or the police officer even when you go to court and videos there. I couldn't more than my boy they were around a Collins Green having to have crossroad. So I forgot what his name again. Cut it. Can't remember. And in place the police and the man have camera around his house.
The Juta brother there. You remember that case there?
I think I heard about it. Well, remind me about it.
I can't remember what his name was, but it's that Juta brother where police always are beat up. You know, see it. One incident in that, I think the incident in that mouth of Rockford, somewhere out there, so, and it happened that. But anyway, it happened that they kill him right around a Collins Green, there's a crossroad, right in yard. And the place have camera, and nothing come out of it. Nothing no come out of it. Right? These young officers, I look on the big, I think it's the taxi man where them a beat the last week.
I was told he's not a taxi man, and I was told he's a member of the Spanish Town, I think, KSMC.
Taxi Association?
No.
Something like what?
KSMC, and I was told that the police is asking him why is he driving the vehicle, something like that. I don't know what the hell is going on in this country.
Me not really know, but anyway, I saw where the young police officer was beating this man, 60-year-old man. How dare you? How dare you? Eh? It can't continue like this. It cannot continue like this. Some change after me.
But East Kingston, the Jamaican people have the power to do something in us. And if they can't go out there and protest, they have a constitutional right to go out there and vote whenever he calls it. And the Jamaican people must go out there and vote. They must send a clear and decisive message to the government of the day. Because when you have a government that's going to send out the police, a peaceful protest, and send out the whole of the JCF out there, it's to show you that Jamaica is becoming a police state and a dictatorial state.
Yes, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That is exactly what I'm thinking. And I'm saying to the officers, the men and the women of the JCF, you are the one who is out there. You have to be careful because you're one-time police and two-time civilian. Remember that. And you're a human being. Have some humanity in you, man. You just don't go there like Hagan Puss and Dog. And which Hagan Puss and Dog doing better than us human being. Come on.
I want to say this, though. I want everybody to know this. I do not support the rampant killing in this country by gunmen. Make that clear. I don't support it.
How you forgot to support it, you? How you forgot to support it?
What I will say, though, is this. That those who are put to serve and protect the citizens of this country must serve and protect the citizens of this country. Those who are put there to serve this country, you must have a legal warrant to enter a person's premises.
Exactly.
And when you enter a person's premises, you must be respectful. Who are you to be beating the citizens of this country? Because you have taxpayers going on your side and taxpayers button. You believe that you're alone to yourself.
Jeffrey, I did have 4 children in there. I have 1 left. And I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day when him come out. For me, did have 3 come out left 1, and I can't wait for the day. Because the JCF is not like it's supposed to be.
Yes. I want next call coming in, my dear. Thanks for calling in.
All right, yeah, man, cool.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Makuta program. You're live.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hey, West Coast, how you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm here watching your show.
Yes, man.
You know, and I just have a little thing to say about that demonstration that took place yesterday.
And
it's very sad, you know. It's sad. It's sad what is taking place in Jamaica. You know, I'm an ex from the military.
The Jamaica Defense Force?
Yes.
Thanks for your service to our nation, sir.
You're welcome, sir. You know, I joined 1974.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, man. Right now, may have son out there right now in the force, you know.
Yes?
Yes. But when I look at what is going on in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking from a political perspective. I'm talking about what is taking place in Jamaica.
Yes.
This is crazy, boss.
Hmm?
This is crazy. This coming like it's becoming a police state.
Hmm?
You can't talk. If the police pull you over and you try to talk, they try to beat you. I came out there, you know. I was in Jamaica and I got pulled over. And when I gave them my driver's license, you know what they said to me?
Mm-hmm.
You're on the green side. Give us something. I said, give me a ticket. You stop me for speeding, give me a ticket. Me not give police money.
Mm.
You understand? What I'm asking, the government, the national security minister,
What government you asking, sir?
the government that is in power in Jamaica.
Is there a government in power in Jamaica?
Good question.
Is there a security ministry in Jamaica? Jamaica
Look
has a
here.
Ministry of National Insecurity and Injustice.
Look here. You're right, you know, because, hey, I have some things, you know. I have some.
Hello?
I'm listening.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You
Yeah,
know
go
what?
ahead.
Let me turn because I'm watching you and it
It's confusing. You turn it down.
right, yes. All right. Let me tell you something. This brother that they say is the Minister of National Security.
National Insecurity.
National Insecurity.
Uh-huh.
Is a dangerous man, you know. And allegedly it is said that he is a leader of some notorious gunmen in Montego Bay, St.
Oh.
James.
Oh.
And I have good information. I was born in Montego Bay. He have gangs that when he finish using them, him kill them. But one youth got away.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you remember, you know, about 2 years ago, you know, the guy got away and sent out a lot of information what that insecurity minister was going on with. How can you have an insecurity minister who can't travel unless he's going to a Caribbean country? Where you get that from? And what them say, him are the assistant or prime minister?
He's the deputy prime minister, the deputy minister of defense.
So you see what is going on in Jamaica, boss? Corruption on top of corruption on top of corruption.
Hold on there for me, my friend. Hold on there for me, West Coast. Christopher, you know easy. Jeffrey, join me in New York. Let us have a poor man's dinner outside Wholeness Big. Shout out it. By the way, West Coast, did you hear that the Prime Minister coming up to New York to have a $3,000 plate dinner?
You're not gonna buy one too.
You not buy one?
You buy one. A poison, forget poison.
Hi. Do not mind that. Come on for me, pal. Listen here, please. Do that.
I'm sorry.
No, do that.
I'm sorry. I withdraw the statement.
Please do. Those.
Yes, sir.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of the hosts or the operators of the Make We Talk program. The views are solely belongs to the callers and viewers of this program.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't mean that, Mr. Prime Minister. Yeah, but
hold on there for me. Chris, on the line, I think we should go there now. We'll have KFC. We could sit down and have cake because we should get in contact with Ratigan too, you know. And we go there and still have some KFC and some you know, some not even KFC alone, some what do they call it now? some brandy and all kind of stuff that's out there and drink and eat. That would never come. That would never come to serious to $3,000. Let's talk off air, Christopher. Let's talk off air. Hey, I know you're serious. Ay. You know, caller. You have some people in the Jamaican diaspora, you know, who, when they hear about the Prime Minister of his wife coming up here, you know, oh Lord, the King and the Queen coming up, the Lord Almighty coming up. Father God, forgive me for saying it. But they will do everything. They'll move the whole of downtown and parade to accommodate them. They're going around selling $3,000 ticket because she don't got nyam with Prime Minister. While the beds in the Jamaica, while the beds, the hospital beds in the hospitals in Jamaica it's out of what? They need some new beds.
Do we have beds?
Well, that's another thing again. And they sit down up here to show you how hypocritical some of them in the diaspora is. It's unbelievable. How hypocritical they are. They are having fundraising for the Prime Minister, but they can have fundraising for a young lady who need a $2.8 million surgery for her eyes. Check the Jamaica Observer, it's in there.
But wait. You don't have to say, look here. I have one right now. She's doing surgery. And I'm the one who is financing it by myself.
All right. There you go.
She just went in this morning.
In Jamaica?
In Jamaica. From East Kingston. I'm the one who's financing it. You know how many old people I have in East Kingston who have to be taking care of medications? It's terrible. Terrible, man. Let me tell you something, and I know you know this. The people them who in power now, from day one, they do not like education. It's a dunce set of people in Jamaica. Period. And it's no joke. You look at the schools in Jamaica. From this time, you have schools in St. Thomas who are still not done yet.
True. And they have not built one single school since he became Prime Minister.
But that me I'll go back to now. Look how many schools PNP built. Check it. Look how much school PJ built. This brother in there for 9 years now. Name me one school when built. One.
Yeah, man.
JLP don't like.
Yeah, man. He built some school. You know. Hear Denise Daley tell them say. You know, hear Denise Daley tell Warmington say he's a mama man. He must come to the Parliament.
Oh, I can't say what I want to say. You know. But
Denise Daley say, "Shut up, you're a mama man. I don't talk to mama man. I talk to whole man, not half man."
Not half man. A lot of them. You have all one of them. You have all one of them where host a radio station there, a radio program. Appear mama man party them hamata.
Oh Lord.
May I tell you? The whole of them. The whole of them. Them is not good. Them is not good.
Let me ask you this question though. What is your views on the Prime Minister wearing blue yesterday? Him and the Deputy Prime Minister. You think that it's appropriate for them to do so?
As a Prime Minister, no, it is not appropriate, sir. What is it showing us? What is it teaching our kids? Huh? The Prime Minister. You see what is going on in Guyana?
Yes, I was there. I started bringing
my
live.
wife is a Guyanese, you know.
Yes?
Yeah, man. My wife is a Guyanese. But she's in America from she 8 years old.
Oh.
You know? And she's sending me a lot of stuff where her families are sending to her. You know, one time Jamaica. All right. All I'm asking for, can these policemen wear body cam?
That's all we're asking for, and the
That's
Prime
all we
Minister.
are asking for. That
You-
is what the demonstration is about.
You don't hear the Prime Minister or anybody. Not one single soul came out and addressed the situation of body cams. None of them.
That's all we're asking for, Prime Minister. Minister of National Insecurity. That's all we're asking for. What is so wrong with it? What you guys are hiding? Huh? We all know you have your death squads. We know. It's evident. We see what is going on. All I'm saying, I'm closing. Please call the election. I'm coming down to vote. Call the election. Please. You have a good afternoon, sir.
Same to you, sir.
Bless.
Bless up, bless up. There you have it. I'm gonna switch over to hold on for me. What's going on here? Hold on for me.
War is on. War is on. Poor not giving up.
What the earth is going on here? Somebody hacked the system? Sorry about that. I ended up pressing the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. I think there is something going on in Guyana that I want you all to see. There is a press conference, I think, going on in Guyana. For those who want to call into the program, it's 954-529-8030. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program if you wishes to do so. There was something going on in Guyana a while ago. Apparently it's not. I'm just hold on for me. Bolo is on. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. Okay. We're not seeing anything. Remember to go over to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and donate. Also go over to change.org and sign the Magnitsky petition. Do not donate on that page. Do not donate on that page. Do not donate on that page. The phone lines are still open. You can still call in. I'm not ready to go as yet. 954-529-8030. You can call in. Not ready to go as yet. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call into the program. Yesterday, Jamaicans for Justice was out in their numbers. And they went out on the protest. A lot of Jamaicans joined them from all walks of life. From all walks of life. Yesterday, what really shocked me in everything yesterday is when the Jamaican Prime Minister going to come out with this.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government will never allow members of the JCF to abuse the power and resources handed to them.
I will be the first to tell you that my administration will never sit by and allow our state forces to act in a way that wantonly abuses the human rights of our citizens. That must never happen, and I want to reinforce that point and say it very loudly. That will never happen under my watch.
That will never happen under his watch. His watch, and we've been asking the question all morning. We've been asking the question all. So the beating of that elderly man in Spanish Town, it was not on his watch. The beating of that elderly man in Spanish Town was never on his watch. The beating of that bus driver in Stony Hill was never on his watch either. What's going on here? Huh? The beating of so many Jamaicans was never on his watch. (954-529-8030). Can also call via WhatsApp. It is now 2:13, 1:13 in Jamaica, 2:13 somewhere in the United States. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call in. I don't understand. Something not adding up here. I want to listen to what this Prime Minister said. As a matter of fact, let me start the entire thing. Let me start this from the beginning of everything. Listen to this.
The Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, and his deputy, Dr. Horace Chang, both wore blue on Tuesday in a show of solidarity with the police amid criticism from human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ. Minister and Dr. Chang both made statements of support by their words and dress.
Depending on who you ask, Tuesday was either a black or blue day. Human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice and their supporters wore black as they called for accountability as the number of police killings climbed past the 100 mark in April. But the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, who also heads the security portfolio, made their loyalties clear as they undertook engagements on Tuesday. The Prime Minister was first to voice his support for the Blues.
When our murder rate reaches the sub 1,000, which it will this year, that is going to send a signal to business people and to the rest of the world that Jamaica is serious about making our country a destination. Not just for tourists to go into all-inclusive hotels, but to make Jamaica a destination for people to visit and for businesses to come and operate. So I wear full blue today to show my support for our security forces in ensuring that Jamaica is a safe place.
Opening the sectoral debates in the House of Representatives, the Deputy Prime Minister and Security Minister called out those who decided to wear black. He questioned where was the support for the families of victims of crime.
I understand there are two things happening. I'm dressed in blue, not only because I support the police call and demonstrate it physically, and they deserve all the support they can do. They're working hard. Not be critical of the others who have other thoughts, but I think it would be appropriate that if there are some people, many of them I gather, a few there are, but there are some significant leaders of churches involved, would at least be giving some consideration to the 230 families of lost people, lost their family members to criminal actors.
The security minister called on Jamaicans to remember those who are robbed of their parents because of crime and violence. He says many of them do not ever recover from the trauma.
There's nothing and no organization in the society that tend to deal with the orphans created by criminals. It's a serious error. I have them in my constituency. I think of many. They're difficult to treat. I have cases I can recall. I just say the young man who was shot down in the presence of his three sons. I found the resource to send them to psychiatrists. Psychologists provide support for school, but the trauma was unbearable. Two are dead by the gun and one in jail.
Dr. Chang says all Jamaicans should celebrate the 36% reduction in murders being recorded. He says 131 fewer Jamaicans have been killed because of the efforts of law enforcement. Mahiri Is
there truly a reduction of crime in our country? Is there truly a reduction of crime in our country? Apparently there's a protest going on in somewhere in Jamaica right now or earlier on today with some Rastafarian. I want to play this here, and I think a well-known attorney at law who is a Rasta is out there. We want to play this and hear what they are saying.
All right.
Freedom Liberator. Turn the headlight and support Africa. Support Africa. Support Abraham Traore, the Black Freedom Liberator. The Black Freedom Fighter. Abraham Traore, the Black Freedom Fighter. Support him, Traore. Support him.
No more election, man. Selection, you know. Yeah, man, election fail. No more election, selection, Africa. For the Africans, you know, those that home and I was scattered. Put away the two bogus leaders in Jamaica from 1963 till now. Stand up black people and support, you know, our honorable prophet, you know. You maybe not look for him as Marcus Garvey, but Marcus Garvey rise.
Freedom Liberator. Turn the headlight and support Africa. Support Africa. Support Abraham Traore, the Black Freedom Liberator. The Black Freedom Fighter. Abraham Traore, the Black Freedom Fighter. Support him, Traore. Support him.
No more election, man. Selection, you know.
Now somebody tell me something now. Where was those Rastafarian yesterday? Where was those Rastafarians yesterday? We are supporting, it's all good to support the gentleman in Africa, you know. What's his name again? Traore. It's all good to support him. But Jamaica has its own problem. Jamaica have its own problem. Why didn't you come out yesterday and join Jamaicans for Justice and have a demonstration out there yesterday? Support the Black Freedom Fighter. I think the church was in Montego Bay, you know. I don't remember. I think the church was in Montego Bay. Hey, Walking in Divine Purpose. Welcome back. They're out there protesting. Support the prophet, the Black Freedom Fighter. We're sick as hell in this country. Why are you calling and hanging up? You don't call my man, 9545-298-030. Don't call and hang up. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Talk program. You're live. Good afternoon. Where are you calling from?
Hey, let me just say this.
Uh-huh.
The rest of them are Jamaica, the whole of them are coward. The whole of them are coward. I mean, just call a while ago, you know, on the next 626 number.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. The whole of them are coward. The whole of them are boas.
It amazes me. You have a big protest yesterday.
The whole of them are coward. You know, see, the whole of them bow. Forget visa, if you go back a foreign, the whole of the rest of them.
My God. Yesterday, caller, you don't think you said it was a prime example, sir? For them to go out there yesterday, sir?
Of course. Of course. Look what happened to them. Look what Buster did to them in Montego Bay. A police killer killed them off in Montego Bay. You know. Yesterday was a day for them to go out.
I'm hearing this, sir. Go ahead.
And them not go out yesterday. But them a come out now, come demonstrate for Traore, Africa. Look, hey, want to demonstrate for what is taking place in Jamaica, man.
You see him yesterday. A gentleman who, I don't know him, but he always called the program, and I find him to be a very well-versed individual. He's saying that they must report everything to the Americans, but the Americans come in. Come in and do what?
Come in and do what? Come in and do what? Yeah, Jamaica? I heard a lady on the podcast was saying the same thing.
Listen to me. People, Jamaica's a sovereign state. Jamaicans elect the prime minister of the country. We're a sovereign state. America can't just walk in at Jamaica like that.
That is what them want to happen.
Jamaica's a sovereign state.
But look here now. I'm gonna say this and come off. I'm gonna say this, you know. It's like them don't remember Jamaica and what Jamaica stand for. Uno don't draw Jamaicans, you know. Uno do not draw Jamaicans, you know, because you see.
Honestly, sir, I don't think the younger set of Jamaicans right now have the backbone like what we had back in the 1990s coming up, in the 1970s, 80s coming up.
80s coming up.
Yes.
Hey, let me tell you something.
We don't have it anymore. All we have is people chatting pure damn nonsense and who want hear from who there with who, from who not there with who.
And you're so right. You're so right because look, I'm sitting and I'm listening, I'm watching. Look what is going on. Look what the labor rights are doing. The PNP, them put up them posted, them tear it down. Back in our days, you know, boss, them think they can't have, you know, our worries, you know. What is going on now? We just sit back and allow these dictators to just take over Jamaica and do what they want to do. That is what is going on, you know. The police drive around in a vehicle, tear down PNP posted, put it in the back of them van, gone with it, and leave the PNP posted there, you know. JLP posted there next door, next side by side, on the take down for PNP and left for the JLP. Come on, man.
But they believe that when I take on the posters, if God Almighty want the PNP to win, you think JLP can stop them from winning?
Can't stop it. Can't stop it.
Let me ask you this question, sir. Your take on the Prime Minister wearing, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Prime Minister wearing blue yesterday?
What you know, man? That is a no. That should never happen. That show you what the government is dealing with. It's a police state. Civilians don't have no talk in Jamaica no more. Hey, let me tell you something, you know. Let me tell you something. Wait, maybe you don't know. A whole heap of body bag the Prime Minister have out there, you know. Whole heap. Thousands of body bagging by, you know. Them deliver with them armored vehicle where she come there, you know. Them come with the body bag, them come with them, you know.
And listen now, they lie to the people about the armored vehicles for the JCF, for the JDF, you know. Say it was heading for somewhere else, but they just stop over into Jamaica. Lie.
Lie.
They use some containers or something and deliver them to the JCF, to the JDF.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, let me tell you, man. You need a number where I can call it off here because things where I want to tell
call
you.
Me
Man,
off here
I
and the
can't
same
say
number
over
here.
All right. When you get off here, I will call you, man.
Yeah, man. No problem. Respect.
All right. Bless you.
Bye-bye. The Rastafarians, them. Or Rastafarians, what they want to call them. And don't get me wrong, and I respect them because my dad was a Rasta. God bless his soul. I mean, he rest in peace. But he's one of those person who is not one of those who go out there and no, he's not. He is one of those person who will speak truth, and but to get involved in certain things he does not. But when you see those people out in their numbers, I don't understand. Something is not right here. Why couldn't you go out yesterday? It's same with the public transport sector. Why couldn't you join yesterday and demand accountability? Demand what you need. Demand something. We couldn't do it. Good afternoon. Welcome to our program. You're live, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Tavares.
Yes, sir.
I have been watching your program since you started and listening.
Yes, sir.
And so many things come to me that, I'm kind of confused. I just want to mention, a few things.
Go ahead, sir.
First of all, the Prime Minister's stance yesterday, to my mind, completely out of line. He should never have taken any sort of side. And he went into a speech to say, I can't quote him, but he takes the side of the JCF, but he wants to ensure that things, are balanced. A two contradictory statement that,
You think so, we're idiot?
How you can up on one side and I'm going to say you want it to balance. And I want a word to the young policemen and women in the force.
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard somebody call you earlier and told you that he enlisted in the JDF in 1974.
Yes, sir.
I enlisted in the JCF in 1973.
Lord, thank you for your service to our nation, sir.
Yeah. And I want these young people to understand,
Mm-hmm.
as one of your callers said earlier, once a policeman, twice a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
You have your relatives. And Marcus, this is no threat. It's just a matter of talking reality. Um, these young people, they have their parents, their cousins, their brothers and sisters on the street, and people know them. And they must consider, the consequences or the repercussions that it could have on their family when they go out and ill treat other people. Because in Jamaica, we have the word, you can't catch quaco, but you catch fish.
True.
So, they don't really have any need to abuse people. And as somebody said earlier on, the dunces set of people them in politics in Jamaica seem to be in the JL. Yeah. For me, all JLP are not dunces. But you look at the whole of the dunce them are JLP. Because the point that JFJ is driving home is not an anti-police demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
We just want accountability. Mr. Tavares,
Yes, sir.
you wouldn't like to know how me feel good if the figures are real. You know, say the crime rate dropping in my country where me come from.
Let me ask you a question. As a retired member of the JCF, sir.
Yeah.
I want you to drag your memories. When you're in, there wasn't so much crime in our country, sir.
No, the crime actually became sort of rampant from in I see 1973 there, because I can recall that the training school was in Port Royal. And I can recall when certain kind of political activities start get out of place. They even brought some of us over from the training school at nights.
Yes, sir.
To keep order down in certain parts of downtown Kingston when stores were being pillaged and burned, But at the same time, crime wasn't so rampant. I am a country boy. I lived in Kingston. And when I come off of duty, I could have go a mile yard, and I didn't live uptown.
Mm-hmm.
But I could go to my own Court Street and thing, but I lived in the Hunts Bay area, and I could go to my house and feel safe. People in the community knew me, and to that extent, when there was certain kind of dispute between community members, they even they used to come up against that. I had to say, no man, this is not a police station. Go report it down. So and it was so different. People respected the police. At one point, I used to go to schools and make presentations, on Carrier Day to present the police force as a place where young people can think about coming,
yes,
joining up to build a career. And right now, yesterday, I'm not sure exactly where I was hearing, but I was watching a video on YouTube here too, where somebody is encouraging parents to ensure that their kids don't join the police force at this time because it's kind of dangerous and they're creating a bad image for the people who have good intentions for the country. The Prime Minister make a mistake when he make a move like yesterday. He should have been neutral. He should take no stance. Even if he's being pretentious, he should have at least come out and say, I hear the cry of the people and I'm going to take every step to ensure that whatever is wrong is corrected.
Yes.
Instead of organizing to pay political activists to go there and counteract the JFK. You know, right, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. Because I got to switch over to something. There's some news coming out of Guyana that I want to go to.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Okay, sir. I'm here. I'm watching.
Thank you. Okay.
Sabotage the press briefing. Darren Wade again said the marks on her skin were consistent with someone drowning. That was the finding. The body had no broken bones or fractures. She was not sexually assaulted, and she drowned. All of this, he said, he witnessed it. That was part of the autopsy. So the crowd there, some of the people, not all, you had some people who were legitimately concerned about this child and getting justice. Across the board, across ethnicity, across politics, people were concerned about this child, the circumstances of her death. PVP people, PNC people, and everyone in between were concerned. And so they wanted to find out the truth. And I suspect some people there were there in support of the family. But a lot of people were mobilized to come there. And we know they were mobilized because the intelligence is coming out, and more of it will come out shortly about who was mobilizing them. And it goes right back to the political actors, can be traced right back to the political people. From the beginning when they showed up there, the day that the body was found, Adriana was found. They've been making public statements about it, but privately mobilizing people to capitalize on this. So a lot of the people were mobilized and
Good
led
morning.
by
Welcome to the program. One moment,
individuals.
please. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
I am doing good, sir. Who is this?
Yeah, man. This is a caller from Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what I really like to discuss though is one of the points that they just made. There was the Rasta yesterday. Yeah? And now they're coming to talk and Rasta get the most injustice from police in Jamaica.
I can hardly hold on. I can hardly what you're saying. You're being muffled. Are you using an earpiece or you have me on speaker?
No. Maybe the safe one.
I can hardly hear you though.
What I'm saying though.
I can
hardly hear you. Police? Well, I guess the connection is a bit bad.
Stay there, so now. Move the phone a little further from your mouth and speak. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is one of the things that they just made. Where was the Rasta yesterday?
Yes.
You know, and because Rasta get the most fight and the most injustice with the police force in Jamaica.
Yes.
Likewise the taxi groups. And none of them didn't come out yesterday and stand up in solidarity with JFJ. You see what I'm saying? But they want somebody to do the job for them, you know. That's what they're looking for.
So you're from Jamaica. Were you out there?
No, I'm from the country. I was live on your program watching.
So you're from the country. What country part you from?
In Central.
So you couldn't take one bus? You couldn't take one bus go to Kingston got up?
No, but I have other commitment.
Oh. So you are not in the position, sir, to criticize the Rastafarian them then?
No, but what I did, I could not support in person, so I went online and support.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Even that I didn't want to do it, I had other commitment.
All right, sir. Thanks for calling. I'm having a live press conference from Guyana with the 11-year-old young lady that was drowned. The VP for Guyana is speaking. So I have to go over to the live press conference. Thank you for calling in.
Okay.
Thank you.
And they're just pushing this line, and often it's a racist line. So this is what took place, and they're mobilizing these kids across the country. They say, oh, I see now that some of these kids don't have work. We can find work for everyone. In Region 4 here, we have labor shortages. We can find work for people. But a lot of the kids who are out there, some on their own, not all of them were mobilized by the PNC. Some saw this as an opportunity to loot, basically, some people. And so
the prime minister, the vice president of Guyana, the VP of Guyana, is saying that the protest that happened in Guyana a couple of days ago of the young lady, the 11-year-old child who was drowned. All the protests is the opposition party bringing the people to protest. I don't know. Everything is politics nowadays.
The protests and was causing all the looting because we put the 10 days workers in the protests to cause the looting. Now, they've done this before.
Why can't I make any changes?
Let's take this thing off of here.
Or when they spread terror by arson or burning things. Or when people they generate fear in the communities that the PNC has not blamed us. And when it's clear that it is people mobilized by them. And so the moment these people get caught and are charged and placed before the court, their lawyers show up, although they're supposed to be PPP supporters. They show up to defend these so-called PPP supporters that we plant in these protests to harm people. That's a different, the PPP.
Okay, we're going to break away from this where the vice president of Guyana is giving an update on the killing or the drowning of young Adriana Young. She's 11 years old. As you all know, there was a mass protest in Guyana a couple days ago where everyone took to the streets. The child was drowned at the Doubleday Hotel in Guyana, and the Doubleday Hotel was burned to the ground. Along, I was told, with the owner of the Doubleday Hotel house was also burned to the ground by angry residents. And now we're being told that by the VP of Guyana that the 11-year-old was drowned. She drowned in a pool. So, all of that happened in there. We wonder what is going on. Remember to go over to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation.net and donate. They can go to Google and just type in Google OJLDF.net. One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation.net. Our fun. Yes. Go over there and donate. Also go over to change.org. Look for the Magnitsky Act. Sign it. Do not, I repeat, do not donate any money over change.org for the Magnitsky Act. Do not donate any money over there. Do not donate any money over there. Do not donate any money over there. And also come sometime in June, we're going to play this ad for you. It's going to happen in Jamaica, where the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation is putting on this event.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural Reconnection Rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
See for yourself.
There you have it. And remember to join Come Reason with Ratigan. Come Reason with Ratigan tonight. Join them at 8:30 tonight. Come Reason with Ratigan. He will be on at 8:30 tonight. So join him tonight. Come Reason with Ratigan. I'm looking for a video that was sent to me by I think it was Andre who sent it to me yesterday. Let me find it here. Yes, I want to try and play it over here. Just a moment here, please. Hopefully I can get it to go over. So basically, our nation is in a bit of frenzy wherein the Prime Minister is in agreement with the members of the JCF to do whatever they want to do to the Jamaican people. Let's do it. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do to the Jamaican people, and you can get away with it. You can get away with it. Yes. Come Reason with Ratigan, episode 24. That's tonight, episode 24. Come Reason with Ratigan will be on YouTube tonight at 8:30 p.m. At 8:30 p.m. Come Reason with Ratigan will be on. And make sure you go over there to support him. And as you support me over here, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. I just want to let you know that there will be, well, there is, hold on for me. Where it is? Here it is. That, election 2025 is happening in the Cayman Islands. And we're going to try and bring some live coverage from the Cayman Islands tonight for you. As of, where the news coming in, as of 11:30 a.m., 40% of voters have already made their voting ahead of the 6 o'clock polling closer deadline. That's what we're hearing here from Cayman Mall Road TV. It says, as of 11:30 a.m., 40% of voters have already made their voting ahead. If you haven't voted as yet, the polling station will be closing at 6 p.m. today in the Cayman Islands. And there are various political parties vying for the seats over there. I know the PPM, the People's Productive Movement, I think that's the name of it, with my good friend Sir Joe Hugh is vying for a seat over there in the Cayman Islands. Maybe he's going to become the next premier of the Cayman Islands. We don't know. But we're going to see if we can bring some live coverage of what is going on in the Cayman Islands election this evening. I know that Ratigan will be on, but we have to do some, some news out of Cayman this evening. And as a matter of fact, what I think what I need to do is to figure out if there is any polling or any news out of Cayman right now. But remember to go over to the One Legal Jamaica Defense Foundation.net and donate, donate, donate. Please go over there. We need your support. We need your support. Please donate. And remember that in June here, we're gonna have a fun day in Jamaica, the Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center. What's wrong with me? My tongue getting tied up. So go over there and donate. Go over there and donate. Let me get this out of the way here. Just a moment here, please. Let me figure out something here. Okay. There will be a next thing coming up here. What is this? Oh, okay. Just remember to go over there and donate as much as you can. Donate, donate, donate. Well, I think we're gonna end the program now. I think we have been at it from about 11 o'clock this morning. It is now 2:48 here in the United States, 1:48 in the land of wood and water. In the land of wood and water. In the land of wood and water. A lot of Jamaicans are calling on the Prime Minister to call the election. Call it now, Andrew. Call it. Even I see something circulating on social media where I think CVM, let me see if I can find it. I think CVM TV. CVM. Here it is. There's a video circulating on social media where CVM TV have some video showing Sir Mark Golding. Let me see if I find it here. Let me see if I find it here. Oh. Hold on for me, please. What is this? Okay. Yesterday, you know what? Let me do something here. We missed out yesterday on the People's National Party press conference. And I think what we need to do is just, let me see if I can get it to play here. Let me see if I find it. Yesterday, we missed out on the PNP press conference. Let me see if we can find a copy of it and play it for you all. We missed out on it yesterday. Okay, here it is. Let's play a recording broadcast of the People's National Party press conference that was held yesterday. During the demonstration yesterday, the PNP held a press conference, and I think we should bring it to you live because
Please help me to welcome Senator Damian Crawford.
Here we go.
Thank you very much, and good morning. Thank you for joining us today on this important conversation around education and the JTC bill, the Jamaica Teaching Council. What I'd like to start off with is setting the context of the conversation, because we have seen great misinformation in the public and a lack of understanding in the conversation as it relates to why teachers may have a concern and what is the aim of the JTC bill and the aim of the People's National Party as far as education is concerned. We're not against regulation of any kind. What we're against is how the approach has been taken, seeking almost to put at the feet of our teachers the realities of the negatives that we're faced with the outcomes of education. Indeed, in the last report for CXCs, only 18% of the students who sat the examination would have come out with the 5 subjects, including math and English. That is equivalent to a GED in the United States. There would have been no society, no citizen within the United States that would have accepted an 18% GED success rate going forward from the students. The World Bank has indicated that in spite of 17 years of spending, both from government, private sector, and parents on education, effective learning is about 11.7 years of effective learning. However, many have tried to place those negatives at the feet of our teachers while ignoring the realities of our education and national systems. One of the greatest realities, or one of the greatest contributors to student underperformance, remains unattended to, and that is that of absenteeism. Recently, the government reported a return to pre-COVID levels of absenteeism of 22% absenteeism. The literature suggests that 10% absenteeism is termed chronic absenteeism. At 20% absenteeism, a student is likely to perform in an exam as if he didn't attend school. The Jamaica Society celebrated through the Ministry of Education a return to 22% absenteeism, pre-COVID levels. And that is not the worst case, because there are rural areas of 32%, 34% absenteeism, and deep rural areas that have reported as high as 50% absenteeism. No matter the quality of the teacher, such levels of absenteeism would cause for underperformance in education. Additionally, 54% of Jamaican citizens have been reported to have a difficulty in finding food. That was a report by an international agency that 54% has a difficulty in finding food, whether it is a grave difficulty or a slight difficulty. This has affected many of our children who, while attending school, is incapable to have nutritious meals. We have treated this as a binary impact by causing for meals to be given to those who are on path and have no consideration to those who are on the fringe of path or otherwise. Many of our students facing this kind of food discrimination are incapable of learning in an effective way, and not the teacher's capacity to teach. We also have a difficulty in getting the tools for learning. Even today, while we're about 2 weeks from the CXC examinations, there are still schools that have not received their full allotment of rental books that they requested from the government. There are schools that have requested 38 maths books and have received 7 of those 38 maths books that they have requested. There are others that have made requisitions for multiple subject books that they have not received even to this point. And by extension, that too has contributed. Available parent and interested parent has been proven as one of the #1 reasons for underperformance. The Jamaican single parent reality is 47%. The global average is 17%. So the vast majority, almost 50% of Jamaican children are facing the circumstances of a single parent experience, including the lack of an adult at home for many hours of the day, including limited resources, so to fund school, nutrition, and other realities, and including the lack of discipline due to the lack of adult intervention on multiple occasions. These are only some of the things that have been ignored in totality, so much so that we believe that a teacher's council is likely to be a panacea for our education system. I put it to you that even to today's date, there has not been a tabling and a debate of the transformation report, for Parliament to have a debate around that transformation report. And in spite of having hired the University of the West Indies Mona Business School to lead the charge as it relates to the research, the recommendation of $21 billion each year for transformation have never been met in the last 3 years. In fact, the suggested budget for transformation this year is about 15 billion less than the recommendation for transformation. It is therefore important for us to recognize that the value of our teachers have consistently been proven by the recruitment from overseas persons. Every year, 4 to 5 of the greatest countries in the world continue to recruit our teachers, even as far as Dubai. We're losing over 1,200 teachers per year because of that capacity, that competence, and that capability. Therefore, the People's National Party believes that the JTC bill should treat our teachers with trust, with understanding, and with support, as versus with the punitive nature that may cause for an increase in migration and for the more negatives than positives as far as it goes. We have carried before you a reality that teachers are at the center of the People's National Party in its history, in its present, and in its future. And these teachers will be indicating to you some of the concerns that we have and some of the suggestions, not for a non-regulation, but for a supportive regulation that understands teachers must be trusted. Thank you, and we look forward to having this conversation.
Hey guys, good morning. As a senior lecturer at the University of the West Indies and a fellow teacher, I have some concerns as it relates to the risk that teachers will face related to the bureaucratic registration process and the licensing process that the JTC bill is putting forward. First of all, section 35 and 36 that looks at the double approval process. This will increase career risk. I mean, section 35 requires the teachers to apply for registration, and then section 36 requires a teacher to apply for a separate license for teaching. I mean, when I got my teaching license in 2005, I haven't renewed it, and I'm in the university. So we have to begin to understand that if we plan to put our teachers through a lot of processes, then this might deter them from really participating in the process. Section 44, the mandatory license expiry period. This is too short. Currently, it's 5 years. We have some recommendations where that is concerned. Section 45, the unrealistic renewal window. Oh, come on, 6 months minimum. 3 months is here, but we need 6 months minimum. We have some recommendations where that is concerned as well. Section 46, the repeated police record requirement for our teachers. Our teachers, repeated police record. Come on, we have some recommendations where that is concerned as well. I mean, I don't think the act caters to the needs of our teachers, both in the short term and the long term. It does not provide for medical emergencies. It does not provide for maternal or paternity leave. And if there's a family crisis, what will our teachers do? Rural access limitations also? Come on, we have to do better. We understand the situation and we are up for a good bill, but we recommend the following. 1, we want to extend the licensing period from the current 5 years to 10 years. 2, we want the JTC to be funded by government subventions and not teachers' licensing or renewal fees. Police records, once, and only if you have reasonable doubt or suspicion that a teacher has participated in some other activity, then you ask for another police record. We want to introduce a 6-month grace period for license renewal instead of the 3 months. And also, we want to merge registration and licensing into a single process to reduce duplication and also reduce delay. Come on, the teachers are the foundation of a modern Jamaica. And without them, the country cannot grow and advance to where it ought to be. Let us try our best to focus on modernizing the teaching experience. Let us try to focus on giving the teachers the tools they need in order for them to provide the foundation that the country requires to move forward. My other colleagues are here. You'll hear more from us as we proceed.
Good afternoon, Jamaica. Thank you. The risk to teachers from the approach to continuous professional development where the JTC bill is concerned. Subsection 11 speaks to mandatory continuous professional development without guaranteed access or affordability. Subsection 1 empowers the JTC to establish a continuing professional development framework that every registered teacher must satisfy. Subsection 2 imposes a legal obligation on teachers to complete CPD. The implication of this, of course, there is no guarantee in the bill that continuous professional development programs will be affordable, freely provided, or accessible across Jamaica. Secondly, teachers bear the burden of complying, but there is no corresponding legal duty on the council to ensure fair access or affordability. Section 45 speaks to continuous professional development as a mandatory renewal condition. Under this section, teachers must present proof of continuous professional development completion when renewing their license. The implication of this, of course, is that failure to comply, even for financial or access reasons, may result in loss of license and loss of livelihood, regardless of classroom competence or years of service. Financial cost to teachers should also be considered. It says teachers must be forced to pay tuition or registration fees for continuous professional development courses, transportation or accommodation for in-person training, materials, certification, and other related costs. Of course, the estimated burden here is that if CPD programs cost between $10,000 to $30,000 per year, a teacher could spend up to $300,000 over a 10-year licensing cycle simply to remain eligible for work. There is no recognition of professional experience. The bill does not allow teachers to earn CPD credit for mentoring junior teachers, leading school improvement initiatives, or demonstrated excellence in teaching over time. What is the implication of this? Valuable real-world contributions are ignored unless teachers separately engage in formal CPD programs, often at personal cost. There's a risk of rural inequality. Teachers in rural and remote areas may have fewer opportunities for approved programs and development opportunities, face greater financial and travel barriers, of course, and struggle with poor internet access for online programs. What is the implication of this? This may lead to systemic discrimination, where rural teachers face higher risks of non-compliance and thus career disruption. There's also the issue of compliance without reward. The bill is clear about punishing non-compliance with CPD requirements such as suspension, refusal to renew license. However, nowhere does the bill provide for salary increases, promotion advantages, or even professional recognition for those teachers who complete their professional development diligently. The implication of this is that teachers are expected to invest time and money in their professional development, but there are no benefits attached, only penalties if they fail. It frames professional development as a burden rather than a renewed effort, which will demotivate teachers. The People's National Party, considering all of these, we have the following recommendations. 1, mandate that all required CPD courses be free or fully subsidized for public sector teachers. 2, grant professional development credit for in-service accomplishments such as mentoring, leadership, and recognized excellence. 3, create a national CPD portal, accessible both online and offline, ensuring equity for rural teachers. 4, provide a 6-month grace period after license expiry for completing CPD in cases of hardship or limited access. And number 5, introduce tangible incentives for CPD completion, such as salary increments, promotion points, or public recognition. My colleagues will continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am an owner and an operator of a private institution. And first and foremost, I remembered last year when the minister then, in October, make mention that the Jamaica Independent School Association have been left out of the discussions surrounding education transformation. Independent schools are literally on their own. They provide a very big percentage of training, teaching, and learning in this country. Yet, sometimes not even a curriculum can be given to these independent schools. I would like to find out where in this bill that shows that there's any form of consultation done with these independent schools. I have a big concern in terms of education because we are really preparing teachers and we are not preparing the students as well. There is no form of transformation to deal with the kind of schools that we are having teaching and learning into. We do not have any form of transformation in terms of the syllabus in which we use now in this 21st century to teach our children. I believe this bill is very hasty. I think we need to go back, and I believe the Lower House will be able to debate, and I'm waiting on that occasion. I would like to find out where in this bill that speaks to homeschooling. I know that education is wider than just training teachers and registering teachers. And while I was coming here this morning, a teacher said to me, it makes no sense we stay in the classroom because every day something else comes to put more burden on us. We should be encouraging our educators, especially in a period where they are being offered more attractive salaries, more better and suitable accommodations. And therefore, I stand ready to debate this bill in the Lower House. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Jamaica. I am Ramoni Lewis, the MP candidate for Central St. Catherine. The risks of vague terms like fit and proper and competent to teach in the JTC bill. Section 35 2B, fit and proper standard is undefined. Section 35 2B, the JTC bill states that the application for registration must be fit and proper. The term fit and proper is not defined anywhere in the bill. There is no objective, list of criteria, no guiding standard, and no measurable tests to access this requirement. The Jamaica Teaching Council, this gives the Jamaican Teaching Council unchecked discretion. A teacher could be rejected or deregistered based on vague or personal interpretation of what fits and proper means. It creates a lack of transparency and consistency, opening the door to potential bias or discrimination. Competent to teach is a broad subject, broad and subjective. Under Section 36(3)(b), the council may refuse to issue a license if the applicant is not considered competent to teach. The bill does not define what competence includes or excludes. It gives no clear indication of whether competence refers to subject knowledge, pedagogical skills, training, or background assessment outcomes. Teachers can be denied a license or face disciplinary actions without knowing what standard they are being held to. The lack of clarity increases uncertainty for teachers entering or remaining in the profession. Discretion without safeguards undermines due process. What terms like fit and proper or competent to teach are left undefined. They became legal tools for exclusion rather than standards of quality. The absence of clear definition means teachers can be denied registration or licensing without a fair chance to understand or challenge the basis of the decision. Due process is weakening, and trust in the fairness of the system is eroded. Bias, politics, and personal conflicts become legal grounds implications. Without clear limits, these vague terms can be used to exclude otherwise qualified individuals, target teachers with alternative training paths, or be influenced by subjective, non-academic factors. This opens the system to politicize, misuse, and professional injustice. PNP recommendations. Define fit and proper in legislation, using transparent and objective criteria. No serious convictions, including minor frauds or violence. Good standing with previous employers. No active disciplinary findings without resolution. Define competent to teach based on recognized qualifications, completion of teaching practicums or certification process, ongoing performance reviewed mechanism. Require the council to issue written reasons when registration or licensing is defined on these grounds. Establish an independent appeal process to review decisions made using subjective or vague criteria. Safeguard fair access by ensuring the use of alternative certification routes to access by merit and performance, not form or affiliation.
Good afternoon. I'm Raymond Price. And though it might be a surprise to many, I've taught at all three levels of the education sector: primary, secondary, and tertiary. And while the Teaching Council bill we're discussing may prioritize the primary and secondary teachers, it has implications for the sector on a whole. And therefore, as a lecturer at the tertiary level, it is incumbent on me to support this initiative and to lend my voice to the advocacy. Now, the Jamaica Teaching Council bill is framed as a professional regulation. Regulations must embed at their center the principles of fairness, justice, and transparency. The sections I will cite will confirm that the basic concept of natural justice has not been adhered to with this bill. For example, there's no legal support for accused teachers. At sections 50 to 64, the disciplinary process, there's no provision either for legal aid. The bill outlines investigations, hearings, and penalties, but nowhere does it provide legal support or state-sponsored representation for teachers under review. Teachers facing suspension, revocation of their license, or public sanctions must defend themselves at their own expense. What are the implications? A teacher under investigation, even on a false or minor complaint, must choose between paying legal fees or going unrepresented. This disproportionately harms the teacher's reputation with limited income or access to legal support, that situation is further exacerbated. Then there's the issue of not having the right to face one's accuser. At section 50, subsection 1A, complaints can be made by any person, and the bill does not require disclosure of the complainant's identity in the initial stages. That also suggests that a teacher could be under investigation for some time before being notified. So even those who are able to afford and access legal support will be at an immediate disadvantage as the state of investigation, persons interviewed, and other related steps in a process that is so clothed in darkness could negatively prejudice the teacher. There is no language in the bill that guarantees that the teacher will be informed of who made the complaint or when the complaint is made or allowed to respond before investigation begins. What are the implications? This undermines natural justice. Teachers may be investigated without their knowledge, without knowing the source or the nature of the allegation, or without knowing who is making the allegation. Then there's the issue of the risk of double jeopardy. At section 6(1) A to D, the council may take action against a teacher regardless of the outcomes in other fora. A teacher therefore may be cleared by a court or a school board, but still face the risk of their license being revoked or suspended from the JTC for the exact same issue. The implication of this is that a teacher may face multiple consequences for the same event, even when they have been cleared of the initial accusation. At section 64(3) and section 59, subsection 2, as well as section 61, subsection 4, it makes it clear that the teacher is denied a salary during the appeal process. The bill allows the council to suspend or revoke a teacher's license, and while appeals are being allowed, the decision of the suspension or revocation still stands. Therefore, access to earning has been interrupted. There's no provision for salary continuation during that period, and no clear statement of salaries being restored retroactively with the relevant interest applied after the process has been completed. A teacher may therefore be unable to work or earn while appealing a decision that may later be overturned. This discourages appeals and leads to financial distress, even for innocent teachers. And as my colleagues shared previously, this could negatively impact a teacher's ability beyond this investigation, even if the investigation proves that the teacher was innocent, to continue to enjoy that basic human right of professional reputation. Then there's a matter of the ease with which investigations can be launched. At the relevant section, 50, subsection 1, a complaint from any person, which is the language of the bill, any person, is enough to trigger an investigation. There is no requirement for an initial screening, no test of the veracity of the complaints, and no accountability for false or vexatious complaints. So a teacher remains professionally injured, even if, I guess, at the end, the complainants say, finger mash na ball, member play where they play. The problem is the education of our children and the professional reputation of our teachers is not a game down a manual road. Then there are the excessive penalties. At section 59, suspension is discussed. Revocation at section 61, and offenses and penalties at section 71. The penalties include suspension or revocation of license, public disclosure of disciplinary outcomes, and fines up to $1.5 million. We find that this is onerous. There are criminal acts across this country's legal system for which public disclosure is not required, nor never actually happens. And therefore, it would be an unusual disadvantage to place our teachers in this potential situation. And of course, imprisonment for practicing without a license. What are the implications? The punishments are extreme, especially when there is no tiered approach to distinguish between a minor infraction or serious misconduct, or even whether this was professional misconduct or otherwise. Our recommendations on these matters include establish a legal defense fund or provide guaranteed state-sponsored legal aid for teachers on the investigation. 2, to guarantee the right to face and respond to one's accuser with full disclosure of the allegations, the very basis of natural justice. 3, protect teachers from double jeopardy. No further sanction by the JTC if that individual has been cleared in other lawful or legal processes. 4, to guarantee salary continuation during appeals unless the teacher is convicted or formally found guilty. And 5, to introduce a preliminary screening process to filter out groundless complaints or complaints of a vexatious manner. Finally, establish a proportional penalty system with clear guidelines, options for rehabilitations, and safeguards for fairness. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rochelle Reed-Knott, Member of Parliament candidate for St. James East Central. I am an experienced educator with 28 years of experience and also an experienced middle manager. I'll be highlighting today the risks to school management and operational flexibility under the JTC bill. While much of the attention has been focused on individual teachers, we must also address the threat of this bill to pose to school leadership, particularly principals and vice principals, who are responsible for keeping schools functioning daily. The JTC bill, as written, will strip school leadership of key tools they've long used strip school leadership of key tools they've long used to manage classes, deal with emergencies, and ensure learning continues when the unexpected happens. Firstly, reduced flexibility in assigning substitute teachers. Section 4, subsection 1, as well as section 36, highlights only registered and licensed teachers may legally teach. There are no temporary exemptions or emergency allowances in this bill. And of course, there are implications. A principal cannot ask a retired educator, a trained graduate awaiting paperwork, or a volunteer to step in during an emergency, not even for a single day. Student learning is paused, not because there's no one to teach, but because the law forbids principal to stop-gap solution. Secondly, difficulty filling vacancies in high-need areas. Section 36, subsection 1, and section 34 states before a teacher can be placed in a school, they must go through registration and licensing, which takes time. There's no mechanism for conditional hiring in areas like STEM, special education, or rural communities. And the implication, of course, even when a principal finds a suitable candidate, students wait weeks or months for licensing clearance. There's also the issue of no timely notification about investigations. Section 50, sections 50 to 53. Any person can file a complaint. There is no obligation to notify the principal when an investigation begins, nor to provide progress on updates. Implications. Teachers under investigation may be absent, distracted, or pulled from duties without principals knowing why. Of course, disruption occurs when no chance to plan ahead. School leadership excluded from disciplinary decisions. Section 51 to 60. Suspensions, license conditions, and revocations are handled by the council alone. Principals are not guaranteed consultation or input before decisions are made. And the implication is that key staff can disappear without warning, leaving school unprepared. Overly easy complaint process underestimates school authority. And this is highlighted in section 50, subsection 1. Any individual, including students, parents, or third parties, can trigger an investigation. No verification or filtering is required before actions begin. And the implications: principals lose control over internal conflict resolution. Even petty disputes lead to formal disruptions of staff duties. There's also the issue of subject-specific licensing reduced in-school flexibility. Reduces rather in-school flexibility. Section 30, subsections 1C, highlights the council may issue a license with subject-specific restrictions. That means a teacher may be licensed only to teach math, or only English, or only grade level science. And the implications: principals cannot reassign teachers across subjects in a pinch. Multi-subject flexibility, especially critical in small or rural school, is legally blocked. In addition, a teacher competent to assist in another subject may not be allowed to, even when students are left without instruction. We, the PNP, recommend: 1, permit school leadership to assign temporary substitutes, including licensed graduates or retired teachers, for short-term emergencies. 2, create a fast-track approval system for schools facing urgent or persistent shortages. Notify principals immediately when a staff member is under investigation with regular updates. We require JTC to consult school leaders before disciplinary actions take effect. 5, screen all complaints for validity before triggering disruptions in schools. And 6, allow broader licensing categories so teachers can be deployed across multiple subjects or grades, especially in multi-role schools. The JTC bill, in its current form, undermines the ability of principals to lead, to respond to challenges, and to deliver consistent instruction. We must protect students' learning, and that starts with empowering principals, not tying their hands.
Good afternoon. I am Kenneth Russell. I'm the candidate for Member of Parliament in Southeast St. Anne. I am also a former primary school teacher. I've taught in rural as well as in urban areas. And I don't know if under this bill, I would be considered a teacher for what I did at tertiary level, but I've also dabbled there as well. And in addition to that, I have worked in multiple countries supporting education reforms, not too dissimilar from what we're discussing here, teaching councils. And the basic thing about teaching councils is that they're supposed to be developmental. You're supposed to get excited about them as a teacher. So if you are a teacher, last year, 1,100 or thereabouts left the Jamaican education system, sought and better remunerated by systems elsewhere, as was mentioned earlier on. And if you were thinking of doing that now, and you heard about the JTC bill, ideally, you would pause and say, let me see how this lays out. And from what you've heard and from what we know from this bill, you would not delay your departure. And I'm going to speak to 5 areas in which we think the bill does a disservice to teachers and could contribute to teacher migration increasing rather than the developmental work that the council is supposed to support. The first one has to do with the increased bureaucracy, which we think will discourage the retention of teachers. So as you've heard, under sections 35, 36, and 43 to 46, teachers must go through a 2-stage process to get registered and then to get licensed. And they have to do this every 5 years, right? And they have to submit their police records. They have to do this required CPD, which they must document, and they must reapply for their license, even if they have a perfect record. So the implications of this is that you as a teacher, overburdened by everything else that's going on, from lesson planning to indiscipline to all the mental health issues that they have to address, must now manage this cycle of paperwork, which you must ensure is properly coordinated and you keep good records. So we think this does a disservice to teachers and will encourage more teachers to leave the profession. The second one has to do with mandatory continuous professional development, CPD. And teachers are required under this bill to do CPD as a condition of their license. But there is no legal guarantee, no provisions in the bill that this CPD, this professional development, will be free, will be easily accessible, or fairly delivered. And so it means that teachers will have to pay out of pocket to meet these requirements, while earning salaries that lag behind what they would have earned if they decide to migrate. So the question then is, why would a teacher stay here and pay this additional amount when they can go elsewhere, be paid more, and probably more importantly, not have to jump through the hoops that this bill is asking them to jump through? And so this is a real concern which we think needs to be addressed. The third one has to do with fear of punishment and instability. So under this bill, teachers face public disciplinary hearings, suspension without pay during investigations, fines up to $1 million for infractions like teaching without a valid license, no salary protection during the appeal process, and investigations that can be launched anonymously or on verified complaints. So the risk then is that you be punished, you are uncertain about where you are in your profession. So this is not a supportive system, which is what we intend is what a country intends when it implements a teaching council. It is supposed to be developmental, but this seems hostile and punitive. The message seems to be, Big Brother is watching, you're under constant threat, or your job anyway is under constant threat. The fourth risk to teachers has to do with career flexibility. Because as you've heard, the licenses are specific only for certain subjects or to teach certain age groups. And so a teacher qualified to teach multiple subjects in Jamaica may be locked into a single role, while if they were overseas, they'd be free to use all of their skills to practice in multiple areas. And that's not only inefficient, it's demotivating, because as we know, our teachers want to be as flexible, they want to experiment, they want to teach in as many areas as possible. So the fifth and final risk, which I wish to speak to, is that of the cost of compliance, which we think is too high. The costs for fees, for CPD costs, the police records renewals, with these things, teachers may spend tens of thousands of dollars during the license cycle in order to comply. And we know that not only aren't they asked to pay these things by the recruiters are offering free onboarding, free airfare, free housing assistance, free tuition for your children, and better salaries. And so we must seriously ask ourselves, how do these provisions make it attractive for our teachers to remain in Jamaica? And so as a party, the Teachers Party, we wish to make a couple of recommendations. And the first one has to do with ensuring that we have a package, a retention package, which teachers would find attractive. We think that package should include bonus pay, housing incentives, and tax breaks for long-term service. Secondly, all required CPD for public teachers in the public system should be free and easily accessible, coordinated by the government. Third, we think it's necessary to streamline the licensing into a single one-off certification with renewal required only if there are serious breaches on the part of the teacher. Our fourth recommendation speaks to eliminating the subject-specific license restrictions, especially for primary schools and for the small schools. Imagine a school with multi-grade teaching. And the fifth and final is to protect teachers from unjust penalties. No anonymous investigation, no loss of pay during appeal, and certainly no over-regulation. So with these things, we think a teacher would pause if they were thinking of migrating. They would find the JTC developmental, and it would cause them to think twice about leaving for other jurisdictions. Thank you.
We now invite Senator Crawford.
Sum up based on, and then we'll go into questions. But having seen the government's willingness to distort conversations, to suggest things are impossible that are already happening, will indicate that the Early Childhood Commission has a professional development activity on the 19th to the 23rd of May, for which the cost is $20,000 and $15,000 if you're an early bird. That is only one of possibly many hours that you would have to face for professional development. So as we are speaking, there is indeed this probability of cost. We're also wanting to make it clear that we are not against registration or regulation. What we are against is the approach. As have been indicated by our proposals, we are not against the licensing, the registration, or the renewal. However, we feel, if I may repeat, that we should merge registration and licensing into a single streamlined process. Extend the licensing period from 5 years to 10 years for stability. Introduce 6-month grace period for license renewal after expiry. Require police record only once unless there's a reasonable cost to request another. And fund the Jamaica Teaching Council through direct government subvention, not teacher licensing fees. With 30,000 teachers, if the licensing fees $20,000 per teacher, they would have taxed the teachers $600 million. If it is that this is so necessary, it should be funded by government and not by the teachers paying fees. We are not against continuous professional development. In fact, we're very much in support. As we have recommended, if I may repeat, mandate all required CPD courses to be free or fully subsidized, such as the example that I've given just a minute ago for our teachers. Grant CPD credit for in-service accomplishments, such as mentoring, leadership, and school contributions. Create a national CPD portal that is accessible online and offline with rural access guarantees. Introduce a 6-month grace period so that difficulty can be considered for persons who have not completed CPD in cases of hardship or in cases of pregnancy. We go further, provide tangible incentives for CPD completion, such as increments for salary, promotion points, or public recognition. It is important that the public recognize a trend in the approach to the Jamaica Labour Party's efforts. We saw it when the PNP had to go for a constitutional challenge to NIDS, which was another big stick approach to any form of formalization. No carrots were mentioned. Overreach into homeschooling, voluntarism, and online education. Indeed, there are already systems in place to ensure that homeschooling have to go through certain hoops. Now, they are proposing that you can only teach your own child or you must be registered. I myself is at risk because voluntarism is now based on being ad hoc. I go every Saturday. Therefore, that is no longer ad hoc. So the private tutoring is at risk. And also, they have now policed online tutoring, but only for Jamaicans because they can't police overseas online tutoring, taking us out of the competitive space as it relates to that. A person who have a actuarial degree or a mathematics degree, but not a trained teacher, can't go online and work out the CXC past paper for persons who are trying to address. We're not against regulation, but we ask for Section 4 to be amended to clearly exempt community volunteers, such as Ms. Dassa up in a dying community who has taken on the responsibility of hosting students on our veranda for our veranda basic. Private tutors below a certain teaching threshold, and church and informal instructors. Introduce a volunteer class registration without fees or full regulation for non-profit, non-formal educators. Create separate regulatory categories for full-time professional teachers, private tutors, and informal educators. Protect parental rights and educational freedom by shielding homeschool groups and co-ops from criminalization. And also support educational innovation, ensuring that the law does not suppress community-based initiatives. Indeed, we are not against teachers being fit and proper, nor are we against teachers being competent to teach. However, we want these to be defined so that they can be cognizant of what fit and proper is before they face the music. Also, we hope that they understand fully what competent to teach is, as many teachers are fearful that this may be sneaking through the back door, performance pay. And there are some people who say, oh, it's the teacher's fault. I want to make a bet with any Jamaicans willing to take it up. Swap all the teachers from Campion to Holy Trinity, and swap all the teachers from Holy Trinity to Campion. And you tell me if Campion will become Holy Trinity and Holy Trinity will become Campion. The reality is that that will definitely not be so. We want to require the council to issue written reasons to protect persons. We are not against regulation, but we are against the punitive nature of this bill. Establish a legal defense fund or provide state-sponsored legal aid for accused teachers. We have already seen this happening with the police when they face syndicate. Even after they're cleared, they're punished with the cost of legal representation, sometimes up to millions of dollars, though they are cleared. So therefore, we want this legal defense fund to be set up. And if there's any fee, it should go directly to the legal defense fund. Guarantee the right to face and respond to one's accuser. Prohibit double jeopardy. Guarantee salary continuation while you are in the process of appeal. And implement a proportional penalty framework so that the cost of teaching without a license isn't almost 10 times the cost of driving without a license. Now, driving without a license must have greater hazardous and risk to the society than the risk of teaching. There is no proportionality. We're also saying that we want schools to remain flexible. This bill seems to have borrowed what happens in many more developed countries without considering our realities and our situation. I know in some areas in the United States, they have replacement teachers on call and substitutes. And the region will send a substitute as soon as the principal requires. We don't have that situation. Indeed, we might have to ask the physics teacher to teach math for us. We have heard on many occasions, especially in the first few weeks of school, that schools are still having advertisement for multiple spaces because teachers have indicated resignation at the last moment. This doesn't fit our current realities in rural areas. This doesn't fit our current realities in dying communities. This doesn't fit our realities in dangerous communities, where this government have removed peril pay, which was an encouragement for persons to go into rural spaces, which was an encouragement for persons to go into violence-prone communities. That peril pay has been removed, and then in addition, this bill seeks to remove flexibility, causing for principals to face serious constraint. It was not until we recommended that principals had to be as leadership on the committee, on the council, that it was included as a probability for principals to be included. But a principal may not even know when someone is being investigated, and therefore only have information on the day that they are instructed that the person should no longer teach. What if that happens in May, right before CXC? What if that happens in April? The teacher then would have to start the process of trying to find replacement instead of having been informed and continuously been able to assess what the probability of the outcome could be. And so we're asking for those things to be included. And as my very able junior spokesperson have indicated, we would prefer a bill that makes the teachers want to sign on, not one that forces them to sign on. Because if you're going to force them to sign on with a big stick approach with big bosses watching, then you're only adding an inducement to find other pastures. And that inducement will do the opposite of what the bill claims that it intends. So again, we repeat, we're not against regulation. We are for a different approach that treats our teachers with trust. And as the Teachers Party, we will continue to lobby for teachers to be treated right and correctly.
Thank you very much, Senator Damon Crawford, and to our other educators who spoke with us before. Now we're opening the floor for questions. If you're in the room and you have a question, please state your name, the media house you represent, and if you're online, do the same. Indicate by using the raised hand icon. We'll unmute for you and you pose your question. Alternatively, you could write your question and we could present it to the speaker for you. Good afternoon, Kelisha Williams, Television Jamaica. My question is in regards to just a response from the government saying that the members who were a part of the committee did not represent well and only attended a few meetings. That's coming from Cavan Gale in terms of the Joint Select Committee, the meeting. If this is true, can you say why the members only attended a few meetings and whether some of these same concerns were raised at that time? Thank you.
I won't even dignify that with a response, because for one, there is a report on the attendance of all the members that were there. And that report, you can review that attendance review. However, even if Senator Gale was correct, they're suggesting that the PNP is the only competent individuals that exist because their presence did not correct these maladies. So if it is that the PNP members was quote unquote absent, for which we know JLP members that went to 5 out of 45 meetings, right? So if it is that our absence led to this negative, then it is right that the people consider that we should be the government, because we will make the decisions that are likely to benefit the people. And additionally, there is no justice in his suggestion because the teachers were not absent. This is not a bill, PNP bill. This is a JTC bill. And so therefore, what we're proposing are reasonable to be considered because there's risk attached to the teachers who were not invited to be members. They were present in their periods of invite, and they made many of these recommendations that were ignored. So an excuse such as that is not one that is sufficient for us to delay the conversation on. So he should speak to the capacity of his persons who were present to not have seen the things that our entire team immediately saw. Your statements. That is consultation. The Jamaica Teachers Association have made many recommendations that were not considered, but it can't be stated that they weren't consulted because they spoke to the person. So if I come to you and ask you, what would you want for dinner? Yet anything you say is not considered, then that is not legitimate to say you were considered, even though you were consulted. So I believe that if the Teachers Association had greater consideration, if the Principals Association had greater consideration, if we were not in a mad haste to say the government is performing before elections. Because, I mean, why is it that this must come true now? What is the reason why we can't review? Because there's precedent. When they made the stupid transportation bill that was asking for a child seat in a taxi, when the public saw the fallacy of that, which we highlighted in the Senate as well, they then made amendments. So there's precedent that now that we have shown them the folly of their ways, that there's reasonable risk to teachers, that there's reasonable probability that it may have unintended consequences. We believe that at this time they should reopen the conversation, and more persons are consuming the bill. Unfortunately, many did not read it before now. Unfortunately, many did not participate before now. But the intent of the bill is for national progress, not for a completion record for the government to say we have done 10 things in the midst of an election.
Good afternoon, Sashana Small from the Gleaner. Well, you kind of went ahead of my question just now in terms of, do you think that the government, we've been talking about this bill for over 2 decades,
Yes.
right? Do you think that we were just trying to push it through with haste at this point? And also, just to clarify something that you said earlier, because I've been listening to the conversation about the bill, and the proponents are saying that this bill, it is supposed to push our country forward.
Yes.
We're supposed to have more accountability in the sector. And also it does in fact reflect the realities of our education system. What is your response to that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of the question.
Do you think the bill reflects the realities of our education system as it stands?
No, I'm definitely not. I believe that the desire to play a game that many children used to enjoy called Who Stole the Cookie from the Cookie Jar. And that game was a game to pass blame to anybody that was left in the game. So the government having failed so dramatically to the point that 13,000 of our children have not been competent in mathematics. So that continuously only 18%, which suggests 82%, is not passing the necessary 5 subjects, including math and English, is seeking to sell a narrative to the uninformed that it is not systematic problems within the education system, but a teacher problem that can be immediately corrected. And that is not true. If it was a teacher problem of competence, then why is Dubai here recruiting our teachers? Why is Canada here, UK here recruiting our teachers? It is a reality of resources being lacking. Any individual can go to a rural school and recognize that we still have chalkboards dividing classrooms. Any individual can do that. Any individual can ask a 11th grader if they have received their math books from government on rental. Any individual can recognize that there's no reasonable nutritional profile that is set for what a school lunch should include, even if the government is funding it. The government's contribution to the PATH program lunch is $180 per day. $180. That cannot provide nutrition. There is no commensurate activity to make sure parents are involved, to ensure that fathers in particular remain participatory, that women have the opportunity to fund the cost of education for their children. The government continue to sell the untruthful narrative that you don't have to pay school fees. And the schools that perform the best have parents who are willing to pay school fees. Have the government therefore contributed that cost to the schools? The school's contribution is $17,000 per child for 190 days. If you should do that mathematics, that ends up to about what? 17,000 divided by 100, that is going to be less than $100. Less than $100. 17,000 divided by 10 is 1,700. Divided by 10 is 170. Divided by 2, that is about $85. So it's about $89 per day. How can $89 per day effectively teach a child? There has been no increase since 2016 to that budget. There's a transformation plan that is on board that was put forward by the government to be the answer. It hasn't been tabled in Parliament and it hasn't been funded. They don't want us to recognize that the World Bank suggested that education loss needed $4 billion and they corrected it with $1 billion. They are now trying to blame the teachers for the 11-year-old we see at the stoplight wiping glass on a Monday at 10 a.m. All of those realities are being ignored, and this bill don't correct those realities. That we don't have proper transportation, that if rain is falling, a rural person will not go to school because there's no bus stop. All of those realities are trying to be hidden in this election season by forcing forward, oh, we're fixing education through the JTC bill. We believe that the bill can contribute to a pillar, but there are many other pillars still being ignored, and that is what we want to correct. So we believe it is a haste, in the same way we see with the roads, to suggest activity at this particular point in time.
Yeah. Second question. In light of
Not 89. I can teach maths if I want.
Yeah. Next question. In light of the issues that have been raised by everyone standing here so far, would it be safe to say that the PNP is labeling this bill, at least in its current state, as a failure?
No, the PNP is guaranteeing that we will make these changes when we get power. And so what we're seeking to inform our teachers is never forget which party started by teachers. Never forget which party has been committed to education. Never forget which party has moved tertiary access from 6% to 22%. Never forget which parties did free education at all levels. And never forget that these are the things we're putting forward. So what we're saying is we will make these corrections if we should get power. And we're suggesting to our government, if they have any interest in the teachers, that they make those corrections now. Don't delay us to have to do what we have highlighted for them to do at this point in time. So we're not speaking to the bill, we're speaking to the outcomes, and the outcomes are risky to our teachers.
There is a question here online. Is the PNP aware of any updates on the unrest among teachers due to delayed salaries? And would the PNP support protest actions by the teachers if the act is not repealed?
We're not aware of any further information. We know that the government made a commitment to the representatives of the teachers through the JTA, and we beg the teachers not to be ignited to splinter group representation through the JTA. The power of the teachers in our society has been maintained by their willingness to act together. And there are some within the society seeking to splinter that by telling teachers to step away from the JTA that acts as their representative. Would we support protest action? It depends. We won't support disruption of our society. We know that our children are facing CXC now, and we hope that our teachers may delay, but we understand the teachers' desire for their reasonable remuneration, and they can't carry what they are calling a Benz bill and paying teachers with the pro-box salary. So we understand that reality that our teachers are facing. However, because it's exam time, we would prefer if our teachers bite this bullet and support the students at this particular point in time. But if they feel that they can't bear it anymore, it is for them to decide how they would act.
We have another question on the floor.
And from Television Jamaica. Just last week, I did a story in regards to some schools which are losing students, especially boys. And oftentimes you see them being recruited by gangs. And I also understand in other parishes too, a lot of students are missing from the system, especially boys. They're not returning to school and they end up falling, victim to some of these crimes. What is the opposition's position on this in terms of should you form the next government? How do you ensure that these students stay in school and you're able to track them down?
We have a fulsome plan. I don't know if you will make news time if we should give the fulsome plan, but let us just give some tenets of that. For one, many of our children are finding it difficult through transportation costs and transportation systems. I mentioned my own constituency of Ty Dixon, which is a rural community depending on farming. That reality that these persons are not transitioning from point A to point B causes for many taxis not to find it viable to ply that route. Therefore, the children who have to move from point A to point B, though the adults just go to them farm and go to them land, is having difficulty sometimes having to go through St. Anne to get back to St. Catherine for Charlie Mount High School. So what we have proposed in the budget through Mark Golding, Julian Robinson, and others is that we would give $2,500 per week to needy students who are having difficulty getting to school based on the cost of transportation in these rural spaces. Secondly, we have indicated that all needy students, for which we have budgeted 56% of Jamaican students are in need, will receive a lunch at the value of $400. Government's current cost is $180. And even when the Minister of Finance did her mathematics, she was 1 billion short in her own mathematics. So therefore, the students would find that to be a problem moving forward. So we have said that the 56% will receive a meal of $400 for each day for the 190 days. One of the reasons why our boys are being taken out is because they are the ones who are going to be asked to work, because physical labor is more easy to get for boys because they're more physically disposed, more physically able. And so they are being asked. We're also going to be targeting absenteeism. The Prime Minister, unfortunately, himself misunderstands absenteeism and calls it truancy. Truancy is when the child was sent to school and chose not to go. Absenteeism is when the entire collective, the parent, decided not to send him. There is a major problem with absenteeism for which we would ensure that we target. So we have a full something about student motivation. We have a full something about access to your books. And understand this, the cumulative nature of education, which suggests, for example, if I would be allowed to teach under this bill continuously, I would teach factorization on Tuesday so as to teach quadratic equation on Thursday. Quadratic equation is dependent on the understanding of factorization. The student absent on Tuesday becomes annoyed and perceive incompetence on Thursday because he has no prior information about the Tuesday lesson. So even though the absenteeism is 22%, the cumulative impact will make it seem as if it is 76% because the person haven't. And so therefore that depression with that system has caused for many of our students to remain absent. We have been teaching, we have over 100 years of teaching right here. And that experience is what we would use to make 20 years. And I'm gone 27, 31. Yeah, I've been teaching since a while. 19, I'm gone 25. Enough, I'm gone, but it's many years here. And many levels of teaching. And that is why we are able to understand the nuances of the profession, understand the realities of the children, understand the vagaries facing the parents. And this is how we are going to do. This bill discourages some of our plans. This bill discourages our ability to extend the school day by having persons facilitate homework classes so that this boy don't go home at 2 o'clock without an adult until 7. This bill negates my ability to do that. This bill negates my ability to introduce into the schools persons for social development through Cadet Corps and Girls Guide who are not professional teachers. That's why we're so concerned, because we're confident of victory and we want to be able to do quickly the things that are necessary to do.
Thank you very much, Senator Crawford. And we want to say thank you to all of our educators who came this morning to stand up for their colleagues and for the students. We want to thank the members of the media and those watching us online on the PNP's pages on Facebook and on Twitter. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day.
We want to say thank you all very much for joining us. We want to say it's been a pleasure serving you all. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Thanks to Walking in Divine Purpose for being here so long to take this through. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to join Wilfred Radigan this evening. Come visit Radigan on his YouTube channel. And also, remember to go and sign the petition on change.org. That's change.org. Please do not donate over there. You can go to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and donate, all right? God bless you. Well, God bless our beautiful island, Jamaica land we love. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad of the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.